Right. Oh, there we go. Alright. Everybody, welcome back to Odyssey of the Dragonlords. It has been quite some time. Not really, only like 1 week at most. Not like our other, like 2 to 3 month hiatus. We needed to take a while back. What's it called? Uh, this time around, we return with the party of the Dawnbringers. As last time, after having failed an ancient chimera within its own island, amongst the waters of the Cerulean Gulf, they decided that that wasn't enough to build up their strength. Because, well, it's not enough that the party needs to prove themselves, through physical prowess or, battle prowess. Mentally, spiritually, they need to reinforce themselves after their horrendous defeat at the hands of the Order of Siren. With that being said, having requested guidance of the Oracle Versi, they have been pointed towards another destination, an island also within the Cerulean Gulf, a place known as Fire Island. Uh, According to a vision that the party received by means of drinking from the prophetic waters of the Horn of Balmitria. They were able to see what awaited them there. It appears to be an island populated by some form of greenish reptilian individuals that the party believes to be lizard folk, as well as a gigantic volcano in the middle of the crater. Not only that, but if Kyra's story is to be believed, then there's actually a titan, a nation titan, locked somewhere within the bowels of the volcano, which could or could not be some form of, unexpected assistance to the party. They have a theory, but we'll see if that theory is correct. In the meantime, however, they ran into a group of survivors from a shipwreck that has, apparently come to Tylea from another world. They don't know exactly from which world, though, as they're still trying to ascertain the intentions of the individuals in this shipwreck. But with that being said, that is where we will continue. As I will move you guys back to the map that we were at, which is the deck of the Ultros. As soon as Roll20 stops fucking me over. Alright, hold on, there we go. So yes, you guys were, I believe, right in the middle of pulling these people back onto the ship. You were trying to ascertain if their story checked out or if their words carry any form of deceit. And as far as you're aware, not really. They seem to be quite desperate and in no real position to lie to their would-be saviors. However, it is up to you to determine if you will accept them within your midst. And with that, we continue. What would you guys want to do with these people as you begin to pull them over to your ship?
Well, Xandri instantly tries to start fetching some, like, a little bit of provisions. Not a whole lot, just like something for them to snack on and maybe some dry clothes.
As far as clothes go, there's only so much to go around, as, the crew kind of has their own sort of like supplies. You can, however, I'll say, pass them over some form of towels and the like to dry them up. Granted, that they are pretty dried already. It's just like, because they've been out in the sun for a while. However, there are noticeable traces of damage in their clothes, be it because of the shipwreck or some other form of danger they ran across. Nothing that completely ruins their attires by any means. It's just, battle scars, I guess, would be the best way I can describe them. what's it called? As far as like patching up their wounds, sure, you can make me a couple of medicine checks. I'll say do me like 2 medicine checks, and I'll say that counts for like all 4 of them.
Well, I'm a medic patient. I think I have something unique with that. Give me 1 second. I know I can use like bandages, but let me just medic. Could use a healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature. Creature gains 1 HP. As an action, could use the healer's kit to creature.
I think they're more sunburnt than actually dying.
Creature's maximum for hit dice.
Not wrong.
So are they like actually hurt?
Yes. They appear to
Okay.
present various cuts and bruises in various parts of their bodies, probably brought about by, like the clashing debris of their ship, or just being kind of roughed around, moved around by whatever storm destroyed their ship.
All right. So this is for the first person we bring up board. You get to choose, and then it's also plus however many hit die they have. And then here will be the second person. Again, plus however many hit die they have. And there's 4 of them.
Damn, so close. 777. Ching.
There'll be a third person plus however many hit dice they have. And then that'll be the last person plus however many hit dice they have. And these are actual bandages.
Yes. So with the help of the with the help of the crew, with the help of Drakgar and Bouxfhades, who the big strong command that they are, managed to pull up a series of ropes, to kind of help them be dragged up towards the ship. One by one, you begin to pass, to move over the individuals. Their body's still weakened, but at the very least, not in risk of death, seemingly. The rest of the crew kind of keeps their distance for a little bit while they let you guys sort of like, talk to these people. Upon the last one being brought aboard, which is, the nobleman, seemingly. He looks over at you guys and says, "Oh, thank you. Thank you. You are our saviors. We cannot thank you enough for what you've done here. Oh, I must say, when we first departed on this journey, I did not expect to run into such kind souls with just such a mighty vessel on their behalf." Upon hearing this, like the 3 people at the back behind the nobleman, do like a silent but collective groan of sorts, as if they're just getting tired of hearing this man talk. What's it called? The dwarven individual looks over at you guys and says, "Right, what what the rich boy over here is trying to say? You really saved our asses back there, and we really don't have any way to repay you, honestly. Everything was taken away in the storm."
Sorry, what was that?
He said that everything they had was taken away in the storm. The only thing they have is what they have on them at the moment. You would notice that they have some degree of equipment already, like on them. Whatever it is that they managed to grab before whatever storm took their vessel out.
I tell them they can start by being on their best behavior and not causing any trouble.
Damn.
The human with the goatee at the back speaks up and says, "You will get no trouble from me, I assure you that. Though, well, if you would not mind us being this bold, we would like to know the names of our saviors."
Well, Cassie just wants to remember this correctly. They are literally from another world, right?
As far as you're aware, as far as their story, that you believe is being, is legitimate, they seem to come from another continent beyond Thylia's borders, which is effectively another world, from your perspective.
Okay. Well, my name is Exandry, and then I'm gonna go down the line and I'll be like, this is my brother, Drak, and this is my laptop lagging, and this guy over here is Bouxfhades, but I can't see him because my screen's black. And this guy over here, this is Derek. This is the guy who was down on the who went down on the ship with me or help you guys. And this lizard over here in the lion fur onesie, this is my pet, Wizzy Lizzy. And then this guy over here, this is Porunga, and I'll point to the Dragonborn. Oh yeah, by the way, Wizzy Lizzy's in a onesie that I made out of the lion's hide that we skinned the other day. And this is my dad over here.
You point all the way at the back at Pythor, who's looking at this scene play out from a distance. He seems to have like a curious expression on his face, as if he himself was also trying to figure out like where did these guys come from if they claim to be from outside.
And then this is my auntie Kyra. And then Cassie forgets the names of the centaurs, or were we ever given their names?
I forgot to give you their names.
Yeah, I thought I asked about them as well. I don't have that list.
Like I fucking wrote them down and everything somewhere in my fucking notes. So give me a moment.
And I pretty much just introduced everybody, and I'll be like, and maybe know your guys' names. Yeah, we just do. Listen, we need a spreadsheet of names on this game.
So you
Send over the PDF.
What's it called? You ask the individuals what their name is. At this, they kind of begin to stand up a little more properly and try to, sort of like maintain some degree of like proper posture, I guess, in front of you. The human woman, well, half-elven woman rather, at the back, she looks at you and says, "My name is Heliope." The dwarven kind of does like a soldier salute and says, "Name's Rutger, at your service." The human with the goatee says, "They call me Dengren, which works as well as any name." The other human with the sort of like nobleman clothes says, "And I am Quinn, son of the one of the most prestigious houses from our home city."
What about his home city? Sorry, my Discord's really laggy.
He said something on the lines of, heir, well, son of one of the most prestigious houses from their home city.
He's a rich boy pants.
And what city is this?
They kind of look at you and he says, "Ah, right. I forgot. You are not. We are not in our own continent anymore." Right. Well, if you must know, we happen to hail from the city of splendors back home. A little grandiose metropolis known as Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. Wait, did they just come from our last campaign?
Those are the names of the 4 centaurs, by the way.
Perfect, thank you.
I don't think so. I'll double check it, but I don't think so.
Dude, Waterdeep was
I
literally
don't
on
think
our
so.
last map, on our last campaign, out of game. That's
I'll double.
cool.
I'll check, but I don't think so. To be honest, I don't think so, but I'll check.
And can I history? We don't know where this is,
You
right?
have no idea. Well,
Okay, okay.
I guess I can allow a history check just to see if that name has ever popped up, because Tylea is no stranger to people just wandering in from other continents, other realms, other worlds. So you can make me a history check just to see if that name has ever popped up, as far as you're aware of other travelers that may have come from beyond the realm. 11. No, as far as you're aware, that name hasn't really popped up in your, in your own memory.
All right. How did you guys
No,
get here?
It looks like Quinn is about to speak up, but then Dengren kind of says, let's just say that some of us were lured to the idea of finding more, strange, wonderful things by the idea of being paid for our efforts. So we foolishly decided to embark on this expedition. Quinn kind of says, well, that is only a part of it, but in truth, and before he's able to continue, Rutger picks up the dwarf and says, right, and right when we were about to, we're sailing off, and I guess we somehow wandered into the land that we were looking for, and one thing led to another, storm came in and just destroyed our whole ship. I'll tell you, when I was told that we were going to be finding some unexplored new lands, I was thinking something easy, something calming, tropical, but nothing like that. Quinn kind of tries to speak again and says, well, yes, but what's important that you must know? And before he continues, the half-elven Heliope says, and, as part of the agreement that we were hired upon to do this expedition, we were to return at some point with news of the New World. Sadly, that seems to no longer be the case. Says Bouxfhades asks, is there any part of the wreckage that can be salvageable? Make me a survival check.
Yeah, boy.
21. Obviously the Ultros is way bigger than whatever ship these guys were on. But you believe at the very least some segments of it could probably be used, maybe not as replacement parts of the Ultros, because they're clearly done of some significantly more brittle material. But at the very least, in an emergency, you might be able to use some of these wood to patch up holes and the like on the Ultras.
I guess while this whole conversation's going down, I'm going to grab a few of the crew and maybe some centaurs and start hauling some of the usable pieces of the ship back to the Ultros.
They will follow your orders and will begin to gather around to start dismantling whatever they can in order to fetch some wood for the Ultras. While that is happening, Quinn finally is allowed to speak without interruptions, and he says, well, just as how my merry band of allies here managed to say, it is true. We were hired by an interested ally of ours, should we say a financer, an investor of sorts, for he has heard of, legends that tell of a lost continent that lies in no map of the multiverse. And so, we were told that should we sail in a particular direction, we will eventually find it. Although, it seems he lacked the capacity to tell how would we be able to return should an accident like this happen?
Where am I again? Oh, one. Hold on, I'm loading it. I want to ask a question, but I'm gonna forget. I was gonna ask Porunga's. Huh? DC?
It's just my laptop's not.
Huh?
Sorry.
Oh, that was me. My bad. Am I
Drakgar-
close to Porunga? I'm still loading in.
I placed
they-
you guys all relatively close to each other, but I don't know if you guys would actually be at that distance. I just, for purposes of having you guys all on the same screen.
I was gonna ask Porunga to ask Estor is that the place we came from? I don't remember. It's been so long.
They're looking for the place that we came from, where my uncle is.
Well, I asked Estor if that's the place where we originally came from when we sailed 500 years ago or 600 years ago. It depends.
Did they say where they were originally headed? They just said that they were told to look for the hidden continent that is Thylea, but they didn't mention a specific location as to where they were heading to.
Porunga, no answer me. So sad. Prize.
Porunga, do you ask Esther Derek's question?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and ask him.
So you ask him, hey, that name ring any bells? And you hear Esther answer back, it's been so long that I don't think I remember either. Oh, dear gods, my mind is turning like Derek's. I must avoid that at all costs.
He said,
Come on.
he said, nah, bro, he don't remember.
Feels bad. Christ. Alright. I'm asking to ask the crew that during the storm you guys said when you guys were that happened, I pointed at the ship. Was there any sounds or sounds of somebody telling you to go no further in the storm?
They think for a moment, and they all kind of shrug, shaking their heads, in a negative fashion. The only one that does speak up is the half-elven woman, Heliope, who says, "We heard no such warning, I assure you, but I believe, or this might be a delirious brought about by our overexposure to the sun. We believe that we saw something approaching through the storm. It's hard to explain, but, well, I didn't see it myself. Dengrin did." She kind of gestures at the human with the goatee and says, "This is going to sound quite insane, but we could have sworn that sometime before the storm we managed to spot at least I managed to spot a gigantic creature hidden within the waters when we were first, I suppose, entering the waters of this continent. Not sure exactly how to describe the creature. It appeared to be more like a mass of moving things. It almost looked like there were multiple extremities to this to this one, like hands, many hands, reaching through the water."
Oh, fuck. Did they find a kraken?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
I'm like, oh my god.
And this creature, I'm just a little curious. Was the creature what caused your wreckage, or was your wreckage specifically from lightning bellowing down from the sky?
Rutger speaks up and says, "Well, no, the creature wasn't really responsible about it. In fact, we ran into the storm while avoiding this thing, whatever it was. And it was the storms and the waters and just a lot of bad luck that caused the situation that you found us in."
But I say, oof. Just overall bad luck. Yikes.
Um, so wait, so the lightning did strike his ship?
Yes, the storm, the lightning, the waters, the wind, all of those were, according to them, all of those were factors in their ship's demise. They didn't actually get attacked by the creature they saw, but they did run into the storm while trying to avoid it.
Bad
I
guy
wonder.
anyway.
I wonder is there a way? I don't know if there's a way if we can figure out if like the presence of Sidon's been around here.
If there
You
was,
asked the blue guy here.
If there was, you don't actually sense anything at the moment.
I think he'll try to target me more if he was here. To be honest, I'm like a living
Because
lightning rod at this point.
I just find it just so odd that they were destroyed in a storm at a location where we're they're like in our path on our way to our next location, destroyed by a storm. We obviously know what Sidon does. I wonder if it could have been a cover up for what was in the water, maybe. I don't know.
Or if you think about maybe Sidon said.
What was that, Derek?
I said, well, maybe Sidon thought they had a big ship, not to our size, but maybe he had sent the storm and the Kraken just theoretically to destroy it, thinking it would be us. But it is a crew with multiple.
Hopefully, he didn't mistake their ship as ours, because I don't know if we're kind of in for that type of fight right now. But Porunga, you might want to like tell your men to like keep a watch out. Since you're like the ship captain now, because of who inside of you. I don't know if you want to, command your ship to be on the lookout for some large beast or beasts in the water.
Upon you guys having this discussion, the nobleman, Quinn, speaks up and says, "Well, having heard your tale, surely you can take pity on us and allow us to remain within your vessel, at least for the time being, until we're able to properly repay the kindness that you have given us."
Yeah. I got nothing wrong with it. Need extra hands anyway.
But yeah. More hands is always helpful.
Need extra hands.
May I got a couple questions. You guys are okay if we keep asking questions, right? Because this is there's just so much going on, and I just want to make sure that you guys aren't like in danger coming here. Like, who sent you here? Who literally sent you to Tylea, of all places, right now?
They kind of look at each other, and one of them speaks up. The nobleman says, "Well, in any other circumstance, I would say that that information is highly classified. But considering that you
do know we don't know that person, right?"
Well, yes, as I was trying to say, if considering current circumstances and the fact that you have proven to be more than generous enough to assist us, I think it's safe for us to tell you. It's not a name that you would recognize. He kind of seems to reach into one of his pockets, pulls out what appears to be a piece of, well, now dried parchment, but looks like it was soggy and wet until a couple of seconds earlier. He says, tarnation. The contract seems to be wet at the moment, but the nobleman's name was Sir Lovias.
Thank you.
And
Of course, not a name that
he's-
means anything around these parts, but he was, I assure you, a quite an intriguing gentleman.
like we wouldn't know this person, correct?
Correct. The name means Vakal to you.
Okay. And just checking. He sent you here just to learn about Tylea?
Well, in a sense, you see, we do not know how Sir Levias came across the knowledge of the hidden continent of Thalia. But we know that he knew or knows of its existence, and, well, asked if we would be part of an expedition to find it and bring back knowledge, information, perhaps a souvenir or two from the land back to him. I assure you, our crew was significantly larger than just us four. But, well, the storm claimed the lives of all the brave men and women that accompanied us on this journey.
Like whispered to Sandra, but like, it sounds like maybe that could have been him, cause big boat, a lot of crew members.
Yeah, I believe they might. Well, my brain still has a couple scenarios playing through it. But right now I'm leaning more towards Sidon might just be striking any ships in the sea that are possibly large enough to contain us. So I feel like that's probably gonna be the most likely outcome. But I just want to be transparent with you guys. So you can decide your fate. Tylea is not in the best places as of right now. We are currently on a countdown timer to a possible war of all wars between gods and titans. Our crew, our group has been tasked. I roll my eyes and sigh as I think about the people in our party to essentially save the world. Nobody off of this ship knows about this. And it's been a challenge. The other side is rather strong. It seems that maybe they had the heads up before us and have gotten quite a bit of a lengthy head start on procuring magical items and things such as dragons and the whatnots.
What's it called? Upon hearing all of this, Dengren speaks up and says, I assure you, we are no stranger to these types of tales. Stories about, bands of adventurers coming together to destroy or put a stop to great threats are very commonplace from where we come from, believe it or not. But it seemed to just wander into one such crew. Not only that, but one tasked with protecting the world itself. Well, that's a first for us. But at the moment, it seems we lack means of returning out to our home. And, seeing as you have saved us, there is a certain debt that we have to pay back. Ooh. He kind of looks over at the rest of the people, and then eventually Heliope, the half-elven woman, speaks up and says, I believe I speak for all of us when I say that it might be better if we stick around with you for a time being. At least until we find a way to return back to our home, which likely won't come until this crisis of yours is dealt with.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
So, welcome to the Ultros. Our captain is this dragon. I know he
Lizard
doesn't
man.
look like it sometimes, but Porunga's a pretty good guy. If you see him talking to himself, please eavesdrop and come and tell me everything he says.
Wow.
Heliope, the woman, kind of says, "Oh, actually, one thing. I hope you don't mind, but just in the case that we do end up being able to return in our world, our employer would like to know, well, a lot about the people living in this world. You wouldn't mind if I were to take my own notes while observing all of you, would you?"
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. Actually, my Alti Kyra does the same thing. She's kind of documenting our journey. If you guys are willing to fight alongside us, you would also make it into our history books.
Kyra speaks up and says, "Well, you
Notes.
know that my documentation is a little bit more akin to, like storytelling. Nothing official or, scholarly, like how it sounds like this woman wants to do." Heliope kinda, readjusts her posture and says,
Oh shit.
"Well, that is rather dismaying. But I suppose I should better get started. Is there any writing material that you're able to provide to us, or to me at least? There appears to be a lack of that in our current possession."
Yeah, I have some downstairs.
"Very well. Then I shall head down there immediately." She kind of sort of dusts herself off and says, "If there is any help required around this vessel, I am quite adept at record keeping and the like. Perhaps inventory checking would be a position that I can take."
You would have to speak with Porunga on that. Again, he's the ship captain. I know he don't look like it, but he is.
"Very well. Right away I can tell
But
there's..."
one thing before that, before you guys go about finding your Shipley and what you could contribute, do any of you have any type of fighting styles, abilities, just so we know? For example, I'm a very good healer when I'm friends with people.
Rutger speaks up and says, "Well, don't know about talking to people, but I'm pretty decent with a sword." He kinda taps the longsword that is like strapped to his body. Now that you look at him, at Rutger, he, besides the sword, he appears to be wearing some form of like splint, splint armor. He has a couple of like noticeable old battle scars around his, around his body that didn't look recent, like the other injuries provided by the storm. He seems to, be a rough and tumble individual. Dengren speaks up and says, "I consider myself a bit of a swashbuckler of sorts. I am very adept and fast with my blades." He kind of taps his scimitars like on each side of his waist.
Huh. You fancy the blade too, and I took out my sword. Niggy.
"Nice looking sword."
I'm like, can I use this on them?
Yes. What are you trying to figure out?
Can I do 2 for each, or is it 2 for the group?
You guys have been talking to them for a while now. I'll say you can do like 2 for each.
Okay. Give me. Give me strength and constitution, or sorry, strength and hit points on Rutger, and give me dexterity and armor class on Dengren.
So obviously everybody's gonna have lower strength than you, because you have like, you have like super
go-
strength.
Oh well, that's
Uh,
yeah. I changed my mind because I forgot about that. I forgot I had like super strength. Let me do because that's not gonna really help us at all. Uh, let's do Constitution. We'll do Constitution on both of them, and then Dexterity on Dingren and Armor class on Rooker.
okay, so what is your Constitution score?
16.
16. So on both accounts, lower than yours, for both of them. Armor class, what is your armor class?
17.
Equal to for Rutger. Rutger has equal armor class to you. Dengren, you ask for dexterity for him. What is your dexterity?
Morgan
My
Doctor, wow.
dexterity is. I'm trying to find it. Sorry, 10.
Higher than yours.
Okay.
Damn, you suck.
Upon Rutger and Dengren presenting their abilities, Heliope kinda says, right, if prowess of any degree is what you're asking for, then I suppose mine lie on the arcane arts. I am quite adept at spell slinging to a certain extent. I, well,
Porunga, you have a friend.
try to learn most of useful magics on my own, though my training only has certain limits.
Wait, who was that was just talking?
That was Heliope, the half-elven lady with the red hair.
So she's a half-elven witch, kinda, I guess, right?
Oh, okay, thanks.
I mean, you're not sure.
So she's
if
like a Mateus. She sounds like a Mateus.
the way
she's
she was
better.
speaking, it seems her magics lie more on the study side rather than the hexing or anything of that effect.
But she would have like knowledge of some of it, correct? Basically, if she's on the
Maybe.
studying part, she had more knowledge of it. So that means she could be a teacher, sort of. If she were to help people with spells, kind of.
I
mean-
look at Heliope and I'd be like, what form of magic is your proficiency? Like divination?
Oh, so they have similar schools of magic here in Tylea. That's good to know. My specialization of magic lies mostly in evocation. Things that can...
Invocation. Awesome.
Evocation. What's it called?
EV.
For those less familiar with the proper forms of School of Magic, that means I am quite good at blasting my enemies apart with magics. Fireballs, lightning bolts, magic missiles.
We do love fireballs. Oh, we love all of those. But crispy.
All right, Porunga, you have a friend here.
Puruga, we found
My
your
kind of
counterpart.
crowd. My kind of crowd.
Class levels. Let me double check. Not really class, but I'll give you some degree of levels. The class levels on Heliope 9. And hit points are way lower than yours.
Thank you.
Heliope, do you? Because we used to have a wizard friend who traveled around with us until he got called away to work at the college with his previous
He's gonna be a-
professor. He did leave a couple scrolls with me, but they're of no use to me. Are you a type of scholar who can read a scroll? And he had a book that he could transfer spells into and have permanently. Do you have similar?
I could make the attempt. Like I said, my magics are self-study, so to speak. I never went through a proper training. But I suppose if there's material you wish for me to review that relates to the arcane arts, I could give it a try, though I make no promises.
Yeah, no worries. Well, they're useless for me, but like if they could be useful for you and then you would have them possibly forever, I have no query in giving them to you.
Very well. Then I
I don't
shall
have them
wait.
on me right now. I'd have to go fetch them for my bags later, but I'll
Of
keep
course.
that in mind for you.
Then I shall await your instructions at a
lizard.
later point. At this point, Quinn speaks up and says, "As for my own abilities, well, I happen to be quite the esteemed individual back at the city with multiple connections of the sorts. I did some form of fencing training on the side, but you see, my real value happens to lie on the weight of my lineage and what that means for certain circles of individuals."
It's like a weapons master. Good to know. All right. Well,
What do you
that makes
say?
me feel better. I said he
weapon
kind of sounds like a
master?
weapon master.
No, not exactly. Well, like, not even, like, you've performed various insight checks on him, on them. Quinn, Quinn looks less physically able than Rutger. He looks, less dexterous than Dengren. And, all in all, he doesn't appear to be as, the sharpest tool in the shed, like Heliope.
Well, I asked him what his circles and connections can do here
Um,
in a land that he's not familiar with.
well, if you happen to secure us a channel to communicate with our allies back home, I may be able to establish particular branch of connections between the local populace and my own contacts. You see, I have certain friendships in mercantile circles, and we may be able to establish a particularly fruitful trade route, assuming, of course, their vessels are not also stricken down by passing storms.
Oh, I have one more kind of really important question. Are any of you like super proficient in being like stealthy and like sneaky type of espionage?
They'll kind of look at each other. Rutger kind of sort of like taps the shoulder pad of his splint armor and says, "Can't exactly be stealthy on one of these." Dengren says, "I am quite quick on my feet. Light-footed, however, is a different thing entirely." Heliope says, "I can turn someone invisible. Maybe. Actually, one moment." And she kind of pulls out like this book from her bag. Everybody looks over at her. Dengren says, "Wait, you actually managed to rescue your spellbook instead of grabbing, more supplies?" Heliope says,
That's my girl.
I have my own priorities." She seems to flip through her spellbook and says, "Actually, it appears far more was lost during the voyage. I believe this might be my older spellbook. I do not have the ability of turning someone invisible."
Don't worry, I do.
I actually have an invisibility spell that you can copy later. That's actually one of the 4 scrolls that I have. You don't have to cast
just
any spells
know.
now. I was just curious because our party severely lacks the capability of trying to be sneaky. So I was just curious if you guys would be able to, assist if something like that were to come up. All good. Let's see here. Do you guys have any other questions?
They all kind of look at each other. For the most part, just reading their expressions, it seems they are all rather understanding of the situation. Quinn kind of looks over at you guys and says, "Oh, I do have one question, if possible. So, of course, this
Go ahead,
ship
ask.
this ship requires a constant, steady flow of workforce for on the crews we have to operate. I mean, a ship of this size certainly requires such activities. Just out of curiosity, what are the work to resting rates in this vessel? I ask because, well, my body requires quite a degree of rest in order to be able to fully operate."
Oh, I don't really think our ship is ran very harshly. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know that.
All I read is I'm proficient in heavy stuff. Um, well, I don't think we're too bad. I don't think you're gonna have to worry about too much, to be honest. I mean, we're not really bad guys.
Phew, that is
That guy maybe.
great to hear. Great to hear indeed. As he says this, Rutger, he kind of gives you guys an expression.
We're not.
To you guys, like, he doesn't really say any words, but it seems to be like an expression of like, you know, don't believe this guy. You know, this guy has something else going on. But after that, they kind of fall in line, and eventually Dengren speaks up and says, "Very well, then we shall get on to whatever duties we are capable of completing in this ship, and well, we'll make sure to assist in whatever way we can. Now, if you won't mind, however, we should probably lay down for a moment, and then afterwards we will resume our duties as part of the newest members of this ship."
One last thing, and I do apologize. I do not mean for this to at all come across as rude in any way. I really don't. But just because of the war and these Titan gods trying to kill us, this is just one question I would very much like to ask. Under the protection of a zone, it's just one question. I would like each of you to very politely answer. And if you want us to answer a question back in return, I'm okay with that. And I'm gonna raise my hand as like this golden ring kind of like bursts out from my wrist, and I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth.
Okay.
And my one question for all four of them is, do you intend any harm, misfortune, or trickery to the Ultros or the residents residing on its ship?
They seem to be genuinely taken aback by the question, and they, through various different variations and degrees of the answer, kind of seem to have a general sound of like, "No, why should we? You saved us." That seems to be kind of like the general sentiment. Of course, said in a various number of ways.
And after they answer, I was like, do you have any questions for me? I am also abided by this Zone of Truth.
Dengren kind of speaks up and says, I suppose I could ask, where is it exactly that you are heading off to at this instance before coming across our shipwreck?"
Of course. We are going to a volcano to try and talk to a titan that was defeated by the titans who are currently trying to take over the world, to see if we can gain any foresight and or information on how to beat him.
They
And then
look
I
at
drop my zone of truth.
they look at each other, and they just
shit.
kind of have like this expression of like, okay, I guess that's what you're doing. Before they, the sort of through this like dropped, and the sort of is dropped, and they all kind of sign relief, and eventually, they are escorted by the soldiers. The remaining soldiers are on the deck to their accommodations for the time being, for lack of a better word. Places they're going to be staying at that are no longer being occupied by any other members of the crew that have passed away.
But yeah, I forgot because he died. So sad. We all died.
Lizzie, you look so cute. And then I'm gonna go over to my window pet and give him chin scratchies.
Just out of curiosity,
Yes.
did
I
we
was gonna
find
pick them up.
anything when we were salvaging the wreckage? Did we find anything of note or value?
Not particularly, no.
Did we take their
Okay.
shit?
They seem to be like genuinely with nothing left to their name. Basically just holding on to the skeleton, for lack of a better word, of a once functioning ship.
Right. I was just curious if there was anything we found while going through the wreckage.
Alright. With that being dealt with.
And then I look at Cass and Drac and say, I probably should have warned them not to eat near me, but oh well. And I throw my hands up and walk away.
Well, I think that's kind of on you not to eat by others.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, I do what I want.
Alright.
I just heard like that South Park Cartman in my head. Whatever.
I do what I want.
So, with that being done. Oh shit, one moment.
You're dying.
A little bit. Like I said, at the start of the session, I'm kind of sick at the moment. So, what's it called? If I sound like I'm dying at any point, then that's because I might be. What's it called?
Like,
But
you might be dying.
with that, encounter, I guess, behind you, you move on to the rest of your destination. Again, because there is no combat, only 2 days from on travel from the previous island to this one. So somebody be keeping track of the Doomsday counter.
Yeah, I already took off one day
What's that?
for the first day, and I'm going to pull the second day now.
Okay.
So it should put us at 64 days.
Okay, 64 days left.
If anybody else is keeping count other than me.
I'm not, because you said you were. I do have a question though. My pink line at the very top of the map won't let me delete it. My cat drew that. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? What pink line on the top of the map?
That's so funny.
Cat
I
drew it.
can't.
They're saying, "Oh, my cat drew a penis on the screen." It's not my fault.
I don't see any pink line at the top of the map.
I don't either.
It's up where it says the
Maybe it's on your
Great Steep.
A greater steps.
No, I don't see
I
anything.
don't see anything on my end.
Yeah, I don't see it on mine
Okay,
either.
well,
Yeah,
there's just drawing lines on my screen. Ignore it then.
Let me see.
Alright. What's it called? With that second day of travel done
I see it on my
with,
screen.
to your destination, you will begin your approach to Fire Island, the location of your next objective, so to speak, self-imposed objective, optional objective, training arc that you refused to do originally. You will notice as you approach the how do I put this? The environment around the island is different from other places you've been through in the Cerulean Gulf. The water, blue water around the island is crystal clear. There is a handful of smaller islands surrounding the landmass, but what stands out to you besides the massive black mountain that rises from the center of the island is the fact that the foliage appears to be of tropical in nature, mostly a rarity in the lands of Tylea that are more akin to like forests and the like rather than jungles. There is movement that you spot even at a distance on the island that appears to be of some form of wildlife that may be to a certain degree quite abundant in the place. For a moment, you would notice that some of the silhouettes that seem to be moving around the shore of the island appear to stop for a couple of seconds, look in your direction, and then walk away. We'll move you guys in a moment to the thing. As per the measurements being accurate, I don't believe they are, and I think the map is set for dynamic lighting. I don't know why that's the default option. There we go. That is Fire Island. You guys will be approaching roughly from, I guess, what would be the southeast segment of the island. There, at first glance, appears
I
to be.
can't see anything.
Can you not? Hold on. Can
I
anybody
see
else see?
Yeah. Wait, which
You're like,
island?
that is Fire Island. I'm like, damn, it's black as fuck.
That's the
Which-
weirdest volcano.
You might need.
Which part of the island are we?
You're
Sorry.
coming in from the,
From the southeast.
Your ship is approaching from the southeast segment of the island.
No, it's a big black square.
You might need to reload the page, because pretty sure everybody else is seeing the map.
EBS, there you go.
Should we park at this smaller island before we get the main one, or
Oh,
go
no.
straight to the main one?
I don't know, man. You're the captain here.
Yeah,
Just,
Porunga. You're supposed to make those decisions.
Yeah, bro. It's not us. It's all on you, buddy.
Probably
I
the
was asking for advice.
Oh, your decision too.
Well, Mr. Captain, since you're asking
Well, I
the
can't
questions.
see anything, so
Damn, bro.
I don't know what to tell you.
You're giving him a hard time.
I
I'm
don't
his
know why-
advisory. He was asking me. It's okay.
I was saying, Mr. Captain, since you're asking about where you should park or shouldn't. One thing you will notice upon your approach to the island is that there is there's a lot of presence of coral reefs surrounding the island, which might make approach a little bit difficult for a large ship such as the Ultras. But
Diggy number 3.
What about this like lagoon area right here?
where are you pointing at?
Is there kind of like a decent distance
Yes.
between these islands over here and the
There
main
is
island?
quite a decent distance between some of the islands. But when you are pointing at that lagoon over there, where I was going with what I was saying, with some careful maneuvering, you might be able to get the vessel close enough. Maybe not close enough to make landfall, but close enough that you might be able to get it a little bit further into the lagoon and then use the rowboat for the rest of the way.
Dingy number
okay.
3.
I think maybe we should like park out here maybe and then rowboat.
That
when
is
we get
that's a
closer. Or not
considerable
that
distance
far,
to
but
row.
never mind. Not that far, but
But we could park like over here.
yeah.
Like I said, this lagoon over here, valid place to maneuver the ultras into. Again, because of the presence of coral reef, not really possible to make landfall without risking potential damage.
But we could
to
park like
the ship.
in the middle though, right? and then
Yes,
rowboat
somewhere
out.
in the middle, and then row the rest of the way. Yes. What's it called? The waters are calm enough that you can easily anchor it, like while in the middle of the lagoon. And yes, as the name suggests, a massive fucking volcano in the middle of the island. It seems to be, well, as far as you can tell, it's active? Question mark. There's from time to time you will see this small emanations of ash and embers into the air.
So it's like actively erupting?
No, it's not erupting, but there is clearly a steady sort of like a stream of ash, coming out of the volcano. If anything, it's
Got it.
probably as quiet as it can be a volcano of such size. What's it called? Yeah, it's just like a thin trail of smoke, shaking just above the what's the name? The caldera of the volcano.
Got it. So it's not a Jogo volcano.
Yeah, it's not like constantly like exploding or anything like that. It's just like a steady smoke coming out of it. What's it called? Upon getting like close enough that you're able to reliably, drop the robots out, you would hear some of the crew members around, say comments such as, "I wonder what type of people live in such place. I cannot imagine living in such close proximity to a dangerous thing of such size." So, what do you guys do?
Well, I guess.
I guess we get in the rowboats and start rowboating toward the island.
Yep.
Okay, anybody
Who are
doing
we
any-
taking?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Anybody doing anything or talking to somebody before heading off?
Let me look at my. Hold on one second. I gotta look at something.
Are we
I
taking
think,
the new guys with us, or is it just gonna be us?
I think let's have a conversation with the new people. Can we do that real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like that's why I ask. Like, talking to anybody, asking anything, or doing anything. So Bouxfhades, you wish to go approach the new crew. By this point, a full day has passed since you first recruited them. They have taken their rest. They have begun to assist in ship duties. At least most of them have. Quinn seems to, not be the one to really get his hands dirty for the most part. But
He's
everybody
the
else,
bougie one.
yeah, the Rutger, Dengren, Heliope, they, in their own way, they kind of have done their part. Be it by, manual labor in the ship, or, in the case of Heliope, more like record keeping, inventory management. What's it called? But yes, I'll say you'll be able to find them with a relative ease.
I approach them, let them know that we arrived at the island, and I tell them that our main party, and I tell them the names of the main party, which is us, are going to disembark and go check out this island. And I wanted to see if any of them were interested in some adventure, or if they'd rather stay on the ship.
Quinn immediately excuses himself and says, "Oh, I don't believe I might be of, much in the way of assistance in this particular location. It's clearly a rural environment, the likes of which I have very little experience in. But I'm certain you'll be able to pull through. Trust me, I have full confidence in your abilities."
Yeah, that's kind of what I expect out of you.
As for, what's it called? As for Heliope, Dengren, and Rutger, Heliope herself seems to consider the idea, but doesn't really say anything out loud. Whereas Rutger and Dengren kind of says, I suppose to explore an island that contains an active volcano sounds like a dangerous deal indeed, but also some that may sound a bit exciting to a certain degree. Should you require my blade, I will lend it to you for the time being, of course. It's the least I can do in order to pay you back for saving our lives. Rutger speaks up and says, "Right, like he said. You want to have an extra helping sword, so to speak, around you, then I can do just that."
I look at Heliope and say, we could always use a little extra magical assistance. On our team is rather light in that domain.
The one person here is magical.
I suppose if you require of my assistance, I will lend it to the best of my abilities.
I'm definitely not requiring it, but I'm just letting you know that we would be we would love to take advantage of your abilities if you were willing to follow.
Well, I do owe you for rescuing my life and that of my allies, so I shall do you this service and assist you in this journey if you wish.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take multiple boats to the island, so you guys can join me in dinghy number 3.
Mother, you. I mean, hey. You have 3 dinghies, 3 robots. 2 of them are significantly larger than the other.
We only have 2 rowboats.
Oh, I thought you guys grabbed the other robot from the Chimera Island.
Yeah.
We have 3? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought we lost one because
Yeah,
of the island that we fled.
Dinghy numero do.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, dinghy number 2.
Yeah, dinghy number 2 we left on the island that we lost our comrades.
Right.
Alright. In that case, well, my bad. I was under the impression that you actually did grab it, but I suppose you didn't. In that case, you have 2 robots. One of them is largely larger than the other. What's it called? But it should still suffice to transport the, people that you have with you. Roughly 8 medium-sized creatures can fit on one of the larger robots. So yes, you have some space to be able to move and manage yourselves. In that case, just so I got this clear, you're bringing along Rutger, Dengren, and Heliope for this journey. Is that correct?
Yes. But
Yeah.
if we get into any very dangerous situations, I would tell them that they have absolutely permission to flee and get back to safety because they're not from here.
Very well. They will take your words to heart and we'll keep them in mind. Okay. In that case, give me a second while I switch to a different ambience. Here we go. Alright, so you guys eventually hop on the robots and make landfall, or are about to make landfall in the jungle environment that is Fire Island. No sooner have you made it around the 150-foot mark away from the shore, you begin to spot movement, figures that seem to be moving into position at the shores. Roughly 6-7 figures seem to be moving in the direction of your, of the shore that you are heading off to, as if trying to meet you at the shore. At first, you can't exactly tell what these figures are until you squint, look a little bit closer, and at a glance, they appear to be green-scaled, lizard-like individuals that seem to be donning a variety of almost like a tribal attire of sorts. They are armed with spears and sort of like wooden shields and the like. They don't seem to be taking aim. They don't seem to be pointing them forward. It seems more like they're standing there as if to welcome you, or perhaps out of curiosity.
For the cannons.
So just make sure I heard that right. You said they don't look hostile?
They're not.
They don't seem to be taking position to strike. They don't seem to be adopting any hostile movements, I guess, as far as you can tell from a distance. They seem to just kind of be trying to meet wherever your boat is trying to make landfall at.
Wait, so at this point, we're not at land now, or we are at land?
You are about to head to land, but you see the lizard folk individuals sort of like approach you, or rather approach the shore that you're about to make landfall on.
I guess we continue ashore?
Yeah, I guess if they don't look like they're...
Very well. In that case, you continue, seemingly taking note of the of these lizard individuals, until you're properly at the at the shore. Upon arriving at the shore, you are welcomed by, like I said, around 6 or so of these lizard folk individuals. They sort of like walk back, allow you to allow you to move out of your robots, or allow you to step onto the shores of the island proper. They kind of look like this. They begin to speak to you. At least one of them does. One of them, who looks a little bit more burlier than the others, begins to speak to you. Who here speaks Draconic?
2 people here.
Like half the
Mr.
ship.
Yeah.
Both of these.
Yeah.
Both of these.
I speak Draconic.
Well, those of you who hear
I
who
don't.
speak Draconic would
Bullshit.
understand that the burly lizard folk amongst them begins to say something along the lines of, "Hail, travelers! We welcome you to our home. We've made note of the vessel you arrived in. By any curiosity, would this happen to be the legendary ship of the Ultras?"
I
Hey,
let
who
Porunga
did-
answer that
how
because
do you
it's
know?
his ship.
Actually. Yeah, Captain.
Does Porunga answer that?
Hello.
He said, "How do you know?"
He asked, "How do you know?" The burly lizard folk kind of steps to the side to give way to a lankier, sort of like smaller lizard folk. Though he looks kind of like aged, like he's some form of elder of sorts. He wears like this attire that is adorned with the bones of various creatures, almost like shamanistic in nature. This one, this one walks up, and again, still in Draconic, will say, "We'll answer your questions, but would you prefer us to speak the common tongue for the sake of your allies?"
Yes, please.
The shaman nods and now speaking in common, will say, "Then we shall continue with the common language. The reason why we recognize the ship is because it is one of great significance to our people, for it once reached our shores hundreds of years ago, its story is being passed down through generations. It is an unmistakable vessel due to its size and presence." Do you say anything in return, Porunga?
Wait a minute. Astra, do.
I thought it was talking to
Porunga?
I thought it was talking to all of us.
I mean, well, talking to all of us, but it seems the party has agreed that you're the one talking to them at the moment.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Who's targeted for them?
Well, like I
Porunga
said,
was talking to him.
yeah. I mean, as far as I understood, it seemed like you guys were allowing Porunga to communicate with them first. They're speaking
Yeah,
common
but
now.
I'm with them.
What did it say?
Yeah, but I would try to go with them.
I mean, well, they haven't moved anywhere. It's just, they were like, telling you how they know that your vessel is the Ultras.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. Answer the question.
So we've been here
Captain.
before. Or so this ship has been here before.
The shaman replies.
May I ask what's his face?
The shaman replies,
Pumo. Ah.
"Yes, of course. Though it seems time has passed and now a new crew commands the vessel. Who are you, if we may ask?"
We're the dog
I was
bearers.
saying for this year, we're the Dawnbringers.
So do you say, Porunga, you're the Dawnbringers?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
They look at each other, and the shaman speaks up and says, "This name means nothing to us, but you do travel in the legendary vessel. So if we are to understand, that means you carry with you quite a strange and great legacy." perhaps you may be able to assist us.
Okay, I'll hear you out.
Very well. Our queen had very specific orders. We will take you to her. You will speak to her. If you would follow us.
Okay. I look back to the guys and say, "What do you guys think?"
I say that I don't see why we don't go with them.
I mean,
They look too intimidating.
fuck it.
We'll go hear him out.
What's it called? As you guys are talking among yourselves, you can notice in the sort of like general demeanor of most of the lizard folk that barring the shaman, it doesn't appear that most of them speak common. At the very least, judging by the general look of the other lizard folk that are accompanying the shaman. What's it called? It seems like only the shaman speaks common amongst them. But when he hears that you guys have agreed to follow them, he looks over at the other lizard folk and in Draconic tells them something along the lines of, make haste, escort them to the queen. And he then turns to you guys and in common would say, please, follow.
I don't know what the D&D term for it is, but I'm gonna keep my my eye on everybody as best as possible for any weird actions or motions, and also continue to listen in Draconic language to see if what they're talking about as we walk.
Meep.
Oh, yeah, my mic disconnected.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
you.
Right, yes. What part did I disconnect that?
I didn't hear anything after my statement.
Okay, sorry. I mean, you do catch a couple of conversations between the lizard folk in Draconic. Mostly boiling down to stuff like, will they really be able to assist us? I have my doubts of these Dawnbringers. Stuff like that, almost as if they are trying to assess you in turn. Eventually, you waded through the jungle and the thick foliage. From your perspective, you have no idea how these guys are able to maneuver their way around, or even know what path they're following. It's difficult enough to be able to keep up with them, but they seem to move through the jungle with little difficulty, as if they already know where they're supposed to be going, which they probably do. At some point, you reach what appears to be a series of wooden buildings hidden within the thick foliage of the jungle. What appears to be some form of a lizard folk village of sorts. They all kind of look at you as you pass by, though no real comments are given to you. Perhaps because they know better. At some point, they go into what appears to be a clearing, not too far away from the initial approach to the village. And sitting upon what appears to be a throne of made out of stone, some form of strange architecture throne, you see a rather regal-looking lizard folk female that seems to be staring down at you as you approach. You guys are coming in from the right side of the map. Place yourselves down if you wish. I really only have the map for visual
Wait, are we
reference.
fighting already?
I mean, I'm just saying. The map is only for
Not
visual
yet.
Oh, she's
reference.
so
basically.
pretty! Can we keep her?
It's just a sentient being. What's it called?
How do I token down again?
We're just gonna start
You
kidnapping
drag
lizard folk
yourself.
now.
You drag your sheet. Well, no, yeah. You drag your symbol from the journal onto the map. That's how you place yourself then.
In the journal.
Porunga, ten riz her up, come on.
Just for imagination visuals, Wizzy Lizzy is not in his onesie at the moment because we are not on the ship.
Oh, you're bringing the wizard along?
Yes, Wizzy comes with me. He's our
Okay.
battle buddy.
In that case, you notice a look of recognition in some of the lizard folks' faces. As if they realize you're bringing along a riding lizard, or a giant lizard rather, with you, and you would catch
He's
a
not on a
couple.
leash because he's a good boy.
You would catch a couple of comments in Draconic from the lizard folk, at least to those of you who understand Draconic. Would hear something along the lines of, "They have with them one of the beasts of our people. Have they been to this island before? No, they surely haven't. We would have recognized them."
Did
Comments
we
like
ask
that.
the shaman lady for her name?
Shaman,
check that,
man. He's kind of like an elderly.
Oh, he's a man?
That's fine. Do you ask him his name?
Yeah, I asked him in his language.
Give me one moment. The lizard folk shaman will, look at you and say, I suppose the proper pronunciation of my name in a language that would be common to all would be Uxluk.
Harry.
I'm gonna need a spelling for that one.
I'm gonna need that definition in the chat, please.
Speak that
What
into-
His name
you?
is Terry.
Question mark?
His name is Terry now. Let's look.
Uxluk.
And I just
like
got it.
return and I just
Think-
tell him,
Lux Ult.
my name,
My name's Jeff.
and tell him it's nice to meet him, I guess.
He nods and says, this pronunciation. What's it called? So he nods and says, Then very well, Bouxfhades. You shall be presented in front of Queen Vita. As you arrive at the sort of like throne area of the Lizard Folk village, the shaman sort of like kneels in front of the queen and says, "Queen Vita, we have brought to you those who arrived on the vessel of the Ultras, as you've requested." The Lizard Folk queen looks at you guys and, again, in speaking in common, seems to say something like, "I must say, it is an honor to speak with those who would command such a powerful vessel. The Ultras has a bloody, if respected, history amongst our people. Though I must ask, are its current members just as fierce of warriors as the ones that owned it in the past?"
I will kind of step forward, just a smidge, so that way the party knows I'm about to say something.
Okay.
I would like to, and it's in Draconic, and I'll be like, I would like to say, we are very fierce warriors. Although we do walk a slightly different path as the previous owners of the Ultros. We do have a couple similar goals. But inevitably, we are trying to keep the world at peace. And then I'll take a step back.
The queen raises an eyebrow, or well, what would be the equivalent of an eyebrow in Lizard Folk, in a Lizard Folk face. Her eye does seem to make a motion as if, to indicate curiosity. She says, in common, again, so that everybody can understand. She will speak and say, "You speak with a degree of conviction in your words, though I suppose today, after hearing what you have to say, I have a bit of a request of you. In order to put that conviction to a particular use for the greater good."
Okay. I will. Is she speaking in Draconic or Common?
She's speaking in common so that everybody can understand her.
Okay.
It again, due to the general demeanor that you can gauge from all of the lizard folk around, it seems only a select few of them actually speak common.
I'll keep speaking Draconic so all of her kind can hear. Or, like, all of her little guards or whatever these dudes are. I will say, that is fair. May I ask what this request is?
She looks at you and says, kind of sort of picking up on the fact that you keep speaking in Draconic, she kind of just shrugs and, well, doesn't really shrug, just kind of shakes her head and, begins to speak in Draconic herself. And she says, "You happen to arrive at a strange situation that has presented itself for us. You see, the king of one of the other tribes, and my eternal rival Yankor, has, well, betrayed the notions and the values that our tribes of the Island of Fire hold dear. He has turned his praise of the nameless god away, and instead has begun to praise another master. She is corrupting all of us from within, away from the teachings of the nameless god." Oh, were you gonna say something, Derek?
Who? May I ask who? My eyes widen, but like, oh no.
What do you? She looks at you and says,
Was corrupting them?
What, my friend?
Who was corrupting your rival village or rival tribesmen?
Ah, of course. You see, the coward Jankor has turned his praising to another entity, who we believe to be the Lord of Storms, Sidon.
Wait. So she just said that the other tribe is being corrupted to following the Lord of Storms?
Yeah, basically.
Figured.
She says that her rival and leader of one of the other tribes, presumably another lizard folk named Jankor, has turned his praise away from the quote-unquote nameless god, and has now began to praise the Lord of Storms, Siren. This is how you spell the name of the other lizard folk that she's talking about.
I'm calling
Can we
Yankos.
get
Also,
the...
do I know anything about the nameless god?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Instead of rolling religion or history, I'll say you can roll me an insight check.
Alright.
To kind
my
of
sheet
discern
load.
what she may be alluding to.
Gotcha, hold up. Why is Dirk gotta be right all the time? He's a bad guy. Yeah, it's fine.
You said
Cast
insight,
summon
correct?
deep with that nat 20.
Yes, insight.
Dirk always has to be right, I knew it.
Insight.
So, pretty much almost everybody, I'll say, are able to determine what she may be referring to when she says the nameless god. Looking around at all the lizard folk, looking around at decor, I guess, that they seem to have on their, on their tribe. The symbology, I guess, that they seem to have mostly on their rather rudimentary, gear and apparel. Um, you notice a lot of like recurrent elements, shall we say, like volcanic symbols and the like. On their gear and equipment and the like. In fact, Queen Vita's crown, quote unquote, appears to be made partially out of a solidified like volcanic rock. You believe this nameless god she is referring to might actually be the slumbering titan within the volcano, though due to the way that she's talking about it, the lesser folk may not actually be privy to the fact that this is a titan that they're praying to.
And when we were in the tower with the Lotus Witch, what was the name of the titan, the female titan that she gave us that was trapped in the volcano that was Sidon's sister?
Let me look at my notes. Did she actually tell you the name?
She did. We got names and their locations and how they were tied up because I was very intrigued of her knowledge.
Yeah, she said that she hid there, but then they found them. That both Lutheria and then Poseidon found her, and then like just instead of like taking her out, they just like legit just pounded away and made her super trapped there.
Okay.
But the thing is, though, I took those notes on Firefox, and now I can't log into Firefox, so I don't have those notes. They didn't transfer back over to Google.
So, well, in that case, you would remember that the name that was given to the specific titan that is trapped within the volcano would have been Calcia or Chalcia, however you wish to pronounce it.
Awesome.
Remember, sometimes the CH sound is just pronounced as K.
Yum. I spelled calcium wrong, I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just about.
All right. It would be our pleasure to visit your rival's clan.
It's not about a simple visit. Jankor has made it very clear that he is now an enemy to all the tribes of this island. He brings shame to the tribes of the Firekeepers.
I'm not gonna lie, Cassie almost reverted back to her previous character for a second. Okay. We will do our best to find a solution to the situation for you.
What did she mean by Firekeepers?
You're
I do
not
have
sure.
a question.
That may be just the name of the tribe. Yes, what was the question?
No, this was a question for the shaman. You seem wise and powerful in your own way. Do you by chance know of a way to help unleash Wizard's potential so he may speak?
You speak of your beast lizard that you carry with you, is this correct?
Yes, he is. I consider him my friend. I've procured items along my way that has helped boost his intelligence, and I often converse. He's a friend. He's a friend of mine.
She looks at you and says, though its ilk has been a long ally of our kind throughout all of our existence in this island, its kind were never meant to be more intelligent than what they are now. I dare even say not many of us, or any of us, carry enough sufficient magics to be able to awaken a form of intelligence within the creature.
I was just wondering. And then Wizzy would theoretically be next to me, but there's just like no room. Um, I would place my hand peacefully on his head, give him a little tickle. It's okay, Wizzy. We'll keep searching. And he'll like nod his head.
Baita kind of looks at you guys and says, "It is important that Jankor's corruption of the tribes is stopped where it stands. For we've seen the actions of the Lord of Storms, and they are not benign to our kind. Jankor may not see it, but he is slowly driving our tribes to, well, a most dire of fates."
I step forward and I ask if either her or the shaman may have a map of the island where the tribes are located or things to avoid.
She looks at you and says, "We do not have a map of the island, for our kind has no need of those. However, some of our, well, more avid hunters have long surveyed the area around the volcano. They may be able to assist you in giving you a lay of the land, should you request it of them."
We would be grateful for a guide or someone to help us make sure that we go the correct way and stay out of areas that we should that could be potentially dangerous to our group.
She nods and says, "Then I shall send some of my more experienced scouts to assist here. Now, seeing as you have said all of this, am I to understand that you will accept a request to deal with Jankor?"
I step back to let Porunga answer since he's Mr. Captain and all.
Yes, we will do our best to make sure the situation is handled, along with making sure the other clans get to continue to flourish in following the Nameless One.
Then there is something you must be warned of. Jankor and his chosen few, she kinda, when she says chosen, there's a bit of a vitriol in her words, have taken refuge within the caldera of the volcano. They have established their own spot of dominance over the island within the very entrance of the volcano. And not only that, but Jankor claims to have been to be a chosen of the Lord of Storms. As such, he was given some rather powerful abilities to go with that. It is within my scout's knowledge that he has at least 2 giants with a singular eye acting as his protectors,
Cyclops.
as well as a powerful magical artifact that is able to a limited degree, control thunder and lightning to his will.
That seems normal to me. I mean, that's normal. Yeah, we've been dealing with Sidon's flunkies for a hot minute now. It's, he's all about juicing his followers.
Well, then in that case, you must know that Jankor's cowardice does not stop there. For in turn of being granted these powerful abilities and powerful allies, Jankor has committed a most unforgivable sin against our tribes.
Would you like us to deliver him to you?
Deliver him alive or dead. Should you decide that such is an apt punishment. But the sin that I am referring to lies on the objects that he gave in exchange for being granted such abilities.
What?
She looks at you and her eyes narrow as if, she's like really angry about what she's about to say. Centuries ago, this island was once home to a dragon with scales of brass. The creature was killed in a days-long conflict against a beast of the seas. But it left behind a legacy. Even now, we still tell stories about the battle between the two and what they left behind. The dragon left behind 3 of its eggs. My kind has long sought after these eggs until Jankor, the traitor, found them. And in exchange for his abilities granted by the Lord of Storms, he handed them over to him.
Madge.
Damn.
Oh. So now Jankor is in possession of these dragon eggs?
He has given at least
Yeah.
1 to the Lord of Storms, though I do not know if he has given the remaining.
How long ago was this dragon?
What?
Has this dragon been passed on? Centuries? I kind of side-eye Derek as sneaky as possible so he doesn't see, because he's too far behind.
The bathroom, what do you want from me?
Okay. Another question. Do you know, or do you guys have a specific, unique sanctuary and where you pray to the Nameless One?
Yes.
I am a healer.
The volcano's own edge has, shall we say, an offering place of sorts. At regular times, we're able to climb up to the top of the volcano and throw to the flames our offering to the Nameless God. But with Jankor's cowardly ways, he has locked off access to the volcano from the rest of the tribes.
Okay. Good to know. That was going to be my next question. I kind of give a small smile and be like, if you could tell the Nameless One anything, what would that be?
That I hope that it grants us blessings, that it watches over our tribes, that it gives us the strength to rule out any further corruption that may be brought about by the remnants of Jankor's own treachery.
I nod my head. I'll do my best to pass along that message.
Very well. So, seeing as you have chosen to accept this request, if you are to depart now, then so be it. Though know that in our culture it is customary for a feast to be held before and after a great conquest or battle.
Well,
Should request,
we will abide by your customs.
should request, we may have the feast now, or upon your return.
May we have it before?
Of course.
Maybe I'm not able to come back.
In that case, then a great feast will be held in your honor. And, as a sign of gratitude, I shall sacrifice one of my own sons to be served as a celebratory meal for all of you.
Huh? Huh?
Wait,
Huh?
what?
Guys, come on, huh? With me, guys, come on, huh?
You don't have to kill any of your sons. What?
You guys can
do
make me a
that for me.
history check if you wish.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Yeah.
She said,
Huh?
"I'll off my offspring for you, bro."
No, how the
Why did we all roll
Ain't no way.
tens?
what?
I rolled 5. We're so bad. No, we don't know shit, so we're gonna eat it anyway. Alright, guys.
Porunga, it's all up to you.
Nope.
What?
Nah, we're good.
There's no
Y'all don't know
way.
shit.
There is no way. There's no way.
We're all bad.
No way. We
We're
all
all
rolled
bad.
tens.
How is that even possible?
Huh? Yeah, we're. Oh, that's fine. It's fine. Oh boy.
Wait, can Wizzy Lizzie's got to roll and then he'll whisper it to me.
Oh yeah, forgot.
How can I roll for Wizzy? Is it an intelligence
it's
check?
just raw intelligence.
I'm
not exactly
Come
sure how
on, Nicholas, let's
Wizard
go.
can communicate this to you, seeing as it doesn't have
Bro,
a
he
speak
almost got
comment
it.
yet.
I just want to see how much smarter he is than us, to be honest.
1.
Watching that 20.
1.
He's gonna nat 20 watch.
I don't know. I think he got a 10.
Or, he's
Uh,
smarter than me.
Heliope kind of taps on your shoulders, like the ones closest to her, and she kind of leans in and whispers, I'm not sure how lesser folk work here in Tylea as opposed to where we come from, but from where we're from, it is not unusual for lesser folk to engage in degrees of cannibalism. They believe that by eating the flesh of a worthy enough individual, that their strength might be imbued into their bodies.
It's the biggest haunt emote you've ever seen in your life.
Well,
So the Queen Vita says, so what say you to to the celebratory meal?
We're ready
If-
to back out now, guys.
that is what you wish for us. Then
Oh, boy.
we look forward to your feast.
So just out of curiosity, and I'm asking this as a DM, you are saying for her to go ahead with doing the feast in your honor.
I don't know why she's got to kill her son. I don't want to insult her.
None of us do, but I mean,
I mean,
Oh,
again,
I'm asking Porunga-
you can
May I
speak
ask a
up. You
question?
can speak up if you wish. Is
May,
hold on,
may
I'm
I
asking
ask a
Ro-
question?
please go ahead.
Um,
You are amongst friends.
we're just very unfamiliar with your customs and your culture. Why would you be um killing one of your sons?
question mark.
She raises an eyebrow, as well, quote unquote eyebrow, as if she's confused by your reaction.
Dare you
You know,
disrespect
as
the
far
soul.
as you know from her perspective, this is just kind of procedure. You know, like it's just kind of how things are around here. And she looks at you confused, and in turn she is confused, and says, "Whatever do you mean? By eating the flesh of those who fall, we carry with them their legacy. My sons have lived a long life, but in order to imbue yourselves, proud warriors, powerful warriors, brave adventurers who seek to take on this gargantuan task to rid our kind of such a corruption that is Jankor and his firekeepers, then such a sacrifice is appropriate, is it not?"
If that is your custom, then I understand. It is just not something we are used to on the mainlands. We don't tend to,
Go ahead.
and we don't tend to sacrifice one of our own. But if it would bring you, I don't know my words. I thought so, but then I felt like that sounded morbid as fuck. If it pleases you, we will abide by your custom.
She notices your sort of like apprehension and says, I am confused. Is this offering not enough? Would you rather I sacrifice one of my larger sons instead?
No. We're okay. It would pain us for you to lose a son. That's why we sound apprehensive. It pains us to be the reason for you to lose a family member.
She again tilts her head in confusion as if... Again, this seems like normal for them. Your apprehension is confusing to them. And she says, if you do not wish to accept the banquet, then please speak up now. I shall not waste valuable offerings on those who are unwilling to accept them.
No, it's okay. We'll do the feast.
Calls out.
Thank you very much.
She called us out. She just called us out.
Rutger looks over at you, Xandri. Rutger kind of looks over at you, Xandri, and says, what the hell are you doing? I'm not going to eat no lizardfolk.
I mean, you don't have to.
You never had alligator jerky? I mean, it's pretty good stuff.
Dengren looks at you guys and says, Dengren looks at you guys and says, now, if it was like a regular lizard, like this one over here, he kind of gestures at the wizard. I would,
you heard that?
A little tiny growl.
I would not say
His
no
ass.
to it. But aren't this like
His ass.
living beings, you know? Like sentient creatures? I don't know, something about that just feels wrong to do.
That is...
Yes,
I
exactly.
don't think you have to participate.
Are you going to participate?
You gonna eat a lizard
Yes.
person?
Heliope looks at you guys and says, then I shall watch from afar. It would make for an interesting note-taking to see this play out. I've never actually interviewed anybody who has actually engaged in the lizard folk's cannibalistic tendencies.
Yeah, me
To be
neither.
honest, I'd rather eat a goat person than a lizard person.
If Kyra was here, he'd be like, what the f are you guys doing? I should still write it down anyway.
Where is Auntie Kyra?
Yeah, she was supposed to be
the gods
following
always
us the
wait
whole
back at
time.
the ship because now they have Versi to scry on you guys. They don't need to be physically there with you.
Oh, okay.
And now that
And also,
was gonna
when I
say
was
that-
asking who are you bringing along, nobody said you're bringing along Kyra or anyone like that. So, like, you know, that's why I asked the question every time before you head off into an island.
I was eating dinner. I wasn't listening.
What's it called? So, time passes.
also I think
Oh, what were we gonna say?
because now Siren is a part of this now, I don't think they could be able to intervene at any point. Since
It might run the risk of breaking the Oath of Peace if they attack Siren's followers directly. What's it called?
this is them.
So give me one moment.
Murder.
Give me a second.
They get to kill people, yay!
Well, somebody's dying. You know,
Yeah,
for your sake again. So
of course.
give me 1 second.
I just want to be known that I was against the lizard eating. Just saying.
Yeah, I
Just throwing
mean,
that out
then
there.
people should have said something instead of
Yep,
letting
but
a
nobody
single.
said anything, so
Yeah,
don't
instead
you
of
worry.
letting a singular party member
Yeah.
doing the decisions for everybody. Like,
Yeah, bro. Too bad you're stuck with us now. It's too late now. You can't back out now.
I'll be hanging out with Heliope.
Wow, you're gonna hit on her. Got it.
so, give me
do it.
one moment. Not quite the thing that I was trying to find here.
Come on,
Well,
bro. Just
while
reserve. Come on, man.
while I find some, some appropriate ambience, I guess. Just to set the scene a little bit. Not too long after Vita announces that they can hold this feast in celebration for you guys. What's it called? It's the lizard folk people are very quick to start setting up the this momentous occasion. What's it called? They begin to arrange a large, I guess, table, basically, filled with all sorts of elements. However, due to how they've arranged the plates, well, not really the plates, but like the selection of meal, shall we say, it's kind of hard to tell what is animal meat and what could be a lesser folk meal, shall we say. The table is laid out in front of you, and you see as Vaita kind of calls onto the lesser folk people and says, "My people, we hold this feast in the honor of those who have agreed to rid this island of the corruption of Jankor the Betrayer. Fill your bellies, and most of all, fill your souls. For today marks the start of a new tomorrow for the tribes of this island." And she gestures at the feast in front of you and says, "Dig in and eat your fill." The lesser folk waste no time in engaging in the feast. What about you guys?
I will say a little prayer because I'm not going to turn down their custom because this is their custom. It's just kind of how it is. So I will say a prayer, and I will thank the food, and I will enjoy. I will also ask if Wizzy Lizzy could have a bowl, and if we could provide it to him off to the side.
Hold on, what was the last part? Repeat it again.
And then I would also ask if Wizzy could have a bowl himself and set it to the side for him.
They do just that. They do, look at you strangely because, well, they're not really used to somebody treating these creatures as anything more than, like, beasts of burden or transportation. So they take a questioning look at you, when you begin to treat this one with a, with a, I guess, a level of companionship of sorts. But they oblige, seeing as you are their esteemed guests at the moment, and they will allow you to to have Wizard have his own bowl of whatever meal is presented to them.
Alright. He does a little yap yap as he says thank you.
The feast is mostly carnivorous in nature, as you might expect. And again, unless you really want to go out of your way to try to tell apart which is what, it's almost impossible to determine like what falls under animal meat and what could be like, once have been living sentient flesh. What's it called?
There's gotta be some kind of check we can do.
Like I said, like unless you want to go out of your way to try to determine, it's kind of hard to tell. So like I'll say, roll me nature, survival, or medicine. Take your pick.
Nah, I'm just gonna eat it.
Bouxfhades,
dog cringe.
You're able to tell like towards one of the ends of the table, the sort of like slices of meat are of a slightly different shape and coloration to everything else. You even like kind of glimpse that there was a segment of it that wasn't really, properly descaled, so to speak. And you notice, oh shit, that one over there might be lizard folk meal. Okay, let's avoid that one for the time being.
Cringe.
What's it called? Porunga, you're not able to really tell like what is what. You're kind of like, this looks edible, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just basically like, fuck it.
Drakgar, you're also able to tell. Oh, what the fuck is this? Hold on, I'm not meant to click on this ambience. Give me a second. What's it called? Drakgar, you're also kind of more or less able to tell. yeah, that looks not quite like the type of animal meat that I'm used to. Let me steer away from that. Throughout all of this, Dengran, Rutger, Heliope, they all don't really eat anything. They all don't engage with the feast. They just kind of walk a couple of feet away. They stay at the sidelines. They're not even sure if they want to try out any of the beverages, shall we say, that are, that are being spread around the feast. It has a particular red tinge coloration to it that may or may not be blood. So
It's wine.
yeah,
It's the blood
not
of
even
lizard Christ.
not even the drinks are safe in this
The
location.
blood of lizard Christ.
So
It's just
however,
wine, guys.
I want to.
I eat it all. I don't complain or bitch. I do
Same.
my best to just enjoy their culture and their custom.
well,
I
I
just
mean,
eat it. I'm like, I don't give a crap.
well, to that I
Make it
say,
poison.
like, do you? I'll ask you guys as the players of these characters. Do y'all believe that your characters will be able to stomach, humanoid-ish meat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have an ancient tummy since I'm very old.
I occasionally sprinkle my fingers across the tip of something and transcribe its flavor to something like chicken.
Okay.
Nom, 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 nom.
Are you
I have an
talking
old
about
tummy. I think I'm able to eat it.
prestidigitation? Is that
Yeah,
correct? or-
prestidigitation.
Okay. Well,
I just slowly make all my food taste like
Wow.
chicken.
Wow.
in that case,
We're
you
not
guys.
poisoned.
Oh, hold on. I believe I thought I heard. Bouxfhades was about to say something.
I want to step off to the side of the feast, kind of like out of major earshot of most people. Kind of like,
okay.
just where, I'm kind of out of the way. And then I don't shout, but I loudly say, "Hey, Chandras, I know you followed us. I know you wouldn't miss this opportunity." And I wait to see if there's a response.
There is no response.
Sure he is.
I wait for a few minutes, and then I walk back to the feast if nothing happens.
No response, really.
Chalupas.
Since he's genuinely was not here present. At the very least, for now. Or maybe he's just really good at hiding his presence, and he didn't give away his location. For
Bad guy.
what would be the remainder of the?
Oh shit! Wait, yeah, we were supposed to be bringing charters too. God damn it!
Oh well, next time.
Because he very specifically wanted to see how I spoke to the maiden under the volcano.
That's why
I was
figured
just
he
eating
followed
dinner
us.
earlier. I was busy, guys. Sorry, I was hungry.
He was
Well,
intrigued.
right now, like,
In his own
Sorry.
words, in his own words, he's more intrigued about how you handle yourself during your visits to the islands than any specific course of action that you take. Because, well, it'll help build his case to or for or against you guys in front of Lutheria.
Yeah, but he also was curious as to how I was going to speak to her because he was like, because we asked him about it.
Yes,
And I talked
mean,
to him about how I could just mold myself into the rocks itself.
you can certainly try. What's it called?
me and Bouxfhades already planned to kill him, so it's you three guys. Gonna outnumber us anyway.
But with that being said, what time is it? We'll take a quick 5-minute break while I fucking make sure my throat isn't dying on me. We'll take a quick 5-minute break and then we'll be back to continue with the rest of this. Right? Let me pause the recording for a moment.
Because I have a +7.
Quick. To answer your question that you ask off screen, Alexandri, if they have any armor for their giant lizards. You do actually see a couple of these giant lizards, very similar to wizard, like around the tribe. They will look at each other, and one of the lizard folk will say, You asked that if we have some barding for them. Yes, we do, in fact. Although it may not be exactly, one to your liking. We work in the materials that we have.
That is fine. He will be going with us, and fighting alongside us. So, I don't think we'd be too picky.
Very well. Then what do you have to trade for such barding?
Well, what things are you interested in?
We use whatever we can make use of. Our people work in such a way that we do not use traditional currency such as the one that your kind may be used to. Out here, in this island, we work in whatever it is that can help us survive and expand.
Survive and expand.
If you believe you have
Survive.
items of value that can help us in such regard, we are willing to make trade in such ways.
I mean, like farming tools, I'm guessing is what I would think about, but they're different truckable. An island, something that would work, to be honest. We don't have farming tools on us.
Old splint armor? That could work for a start.
I'm trying to think.
Looks at the big man. Hey, time to get naked. Wait a minute.
Oh! Well, this is weird, but I have a lot of first aid items. I don't know if that would be of use to you, but I could teach you how to use them and administrate them.
They look at each other. One of the lesser folk speaks up and says, "We have some degree of training with medical arts. But if there's any knowledge you believe can be of use, we could set a value for it that may be equal to what you wish to trade."
Yes, let us deal with, his name is Rakkor, right?
Jankor.
Yanko.
As soon as we are done dealing with Yankor, I will, whoever you have who is very proficient in healing, I wouldn't mind sitting down with them for a little bit and going over how to use my medics kit, and I could trade you 100 of them. Cause I have 500. They're very useful, and each kit can help 10 people. So 100 medikits is a lot of medkits.
A lot of first aid.
It's a lot of first aid.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Come on, rhythm up, come on.
Hold on, I'm just going back to the page to do so. Why do I always gotta do persuasion?
I mean, because you're trying
Let
to
me do it.
persuade them to help you out here and trade with you.
Oh, I got a 23 for once in my life. Holy shit.
They kind of
Let
think
me
for
do
a
it.
moment.
Let the bard do it.
Kind of think for a
Even
moment,
choose
and
one,
one of the lesser folk will say, "Medical knowledge in exchange for the ability to protect your beast of burden better. I suppose this is an
Yeah.
acceptable trade." Then, once you're done with your current quest, find us again, and we shall see what type of barding we can spare for your beast.
Alright. Before then, I'll go ahead and hand over the medical items. It's just that I won't have time to teach until after we've fixed the issue on your island. But I will go over to Wizzy Lizzy and I will start fetching out a couple of the med kits, and then obviously on our return, I'll go catch the rest from on the ship.
They will nod along and just kind of begin to look at and sort of like analyze basically the medical kits, what type of supplies they have that they could make use of.
And my bad, I have 320 med kits, but I will still give them 100.
How do you got that much?
Oh, I might have opened them, but it says 320.
320.
Oh, you know what it is? I might, because each have 10 in it. That makes more sense.
So you have
She had
32.
32.
So
She had
yeah.
32. So she's basically giving them 10 of them, which have 100 in them. That's it.
Yeah.
Basically 100. Still same thing, 100. It's
'Cause-
the same thing. Yeah, basically the same thing. 100, 30, 10. Put the extra 0 at the end. There you go. And that's what you did. You put the 0 at the end. Oh, I have 320. Just 320.
Yeah, so it's 32. Yeah. But they'll still get a decent amount of them.
Okay. In that case, you exchanged. Oh shit. 10 of the sailor's kits to them. Like I said, they'll try to look at it and see what is worth the amount of of barding that you're looking for here. Obviously, they can only work with so much at the moment, because again they are presumably have relatively primitive tools to work with, so they can only do a lot with what they have in the means of creating protective armor for your mount. So we'll see what they come up with after you return. I believe Bouxfhades, you were also trying to see what they also have to trade with you.
Well, now that you said that they only have primitive things, I highly doubt they'll have a greatsword that's better than the one I have now.
That's the great sword.
There's a chance that they might not have a lot in the way of magical items. If the words of Queen Vita are to be believed, then Jankor and his immediate cronies, also bless whoever sneezed. Like is if Queen Vita's words are to be believed, that Jankor and his cronies may have access to some form of magical equipment courtesy of Siren. But other than that, you'll be hard pressed to find, like anything really fancy amongst the local tribes. They're fine craftsmen. You can tell just by looking at their weapons and armor that they have. There's a great deal of care and intricate, craftsmanship into their items, but nothing that you would consider like better than what you have.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey man, this is what happens when you deal with lizard folk. They deal like exclusively in things that can be useful and not always, and that's not always currency.
Yeah.
I got med kits. Those are useful. Med kits are always useful.
But yes, so after the feast is over and done with, Queen Vita would approach you guys once again and say, "Now, take one of my most trusted scouts. They shall lead you across the jungle and towards the volcano. There may be some ancient routes that can be taken to approach, though be careful. They might lead you into far more danger than you might expect."
Ah, dang it. Alright, then whatever.
I will, out of game, did we gain any benefits from this feast, or no?
Right,
No?
it's effectively a short rest. And the knowledge that you now ate the living creature, maybe.
Based.
you know,
Alright, hell yeah. +1 strength for 10 minutes. Woo! I needed it anyway.
Okay. I ate it. It wasted time.
Wait, what do you say?
Forever.
What do you say,
I think we're
Xander?
good.
Nothing. I said I would have still ate it anyways.
Okay.
But
What's
it's
it go?
yeah.
So, you guys, so after Baita kind of tells you her parting words, what do you guys do from there?
I go over to Xandri and ask her if there's any way that she can reach out to Chandris and ask him if Gaius ever talked to him about providing a lizard folk with this kind of power.
Well, Chandra specifically only knows about Lutheria. He doesn't follow Sidon. He doesn't like Sidon or care about Sidon.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I wanted to know if Gaius told him anything about it. If he worked
Oh,
under
okay.
Gaius.
Oh, you're
I got you. So, hear me out. The answer is theoretically yes, but that would waste a spell.
Fair enough.
And asking him would have no different effect on asking him now or later. It would be the same outcome either way.
Well, I mean, unless he had some information that was pertinent to the powers that he received.
Well, we know it's probably got something to do with electricity or lightning, and it's probably gonna hurt.
Well, yeah.
Chiga.
It would be
Well, I
unfortunate
guess,
if someone was wearing armor.
Yeah.
You probably are a lightning rod right now.
I mean, I'm already the lightning rod of the group.
I go to lift my greatsword over my head and just get struck down.
Bruh, he aims at me all the time. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I legit got struck by lightning and a 2 lightning freaking javelins. What are you guys talking about? I'm the
All right,
good
well, I
luck
guess
lightning
I'll
rod.
stand near Derek.
Are we ready to head out?
Yeah, start trying to find, I forget the name. Oh, I mean,
Remember, I
know
almost
it
got
is.
struck again. I almost got stuck again by Siren when we entered the city the first time. Remember that?
I got hit too.
Yeah,
I got
who got hit the most? I think it was on Mortal and Pumo got hurt the most, and I dodged everything.
All right.
Yeah, I lost like half my health.
I mean, we'll see if
Remember
the
that,
same
I
happens
remember.
today. So,
You guys, sorry.
After having this little discussion between you guys, what do you guys do? Do you head off to try and see what you can garner from the volcano right away, or do anything
think
else?
that's what it sounded like we were.
I say just to the group that I feel like it would be beneficial for us to go check out this ritual site at the volcano before we go to
Well,
Jankor's side of the island.
as far as you have been told, as far as Vita's words have rang true, I guess, it appears the same, place of worship, I guess, that the Lizardfolk tribes of the Fire Island have used to, bring tribute to the nameless god, quote unquote. Is currently the same location that Jankor has set up shop at. Because remember what she said. Ever since he established his dominance over the volcano, has been denying access to the other tribes to the place of worship. So,
Got it.
presumably,
go kick his butthole.
presumably this place is still within the caldera of the volcano. All right. In that case, you head off. I will ask this: do you bother trying to look for any of the scouts of, trying to fetch one of the scouts of Queen Vita to help you out?
Yeah, we were gonna have a guide. She said that she was gonna send her best dude.
I
Okay.
remember S.
You are approached by a lizard folk of kind of like a slim build, not lanky like the shaman, but a little bit more like dexterous looking. They would look at you and would say, "I want to escort you to the base of the volcano and will help you look for alternative means of entry besides the main entrance." Please, follow me, and keep your eyes peeled.
I tell him thank you and ask him for his name.
Okay. We'll look at you and say, my name is Krask. I am one of Queen Vita's most trusted scouts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Drutut.
So I just tell him, I guess, lead the way.
Very well. I must point out, as he begins to move out, he begins to walk and talk with you guys and says, I must point out, there are some ancient passageways that have not been traversed for centuries. They may be more unstable than others. But, should we find any of them, watch your step. And as he says
Thank you for the warning.
whoever's trying to look for this alternate means of entry can make me a survival or perception check with advantage because you're being assisted by the scout.
Wow, the one time I roll a terrible survival check.
Let's go.
So bad. FF.
So 21 from Drakgar. Well, first of all, just to kind of set the scene of what you guys, what has been happening so far. Because, you know, the village, the tribe that you guys were drawn to isn't exactly directly next to the shore. It's a little bit further into the island. You would make your way, your trek towards the volcano in the middle. It is a long, winding road filled with, you know, lots of foliage that slows down your pace almost to a grinding halt. But with the assistance of the local scout, you're able to more or less manage the traversal to otherwise, you know, pun not intended, difficult terrain. What's it called? Eventually, you begin to see, you begin to approach rather the base of the volcano. You see as the scout looks up, as if trying to, you know, look at something specifically. Upon following their gaze, you are surprised to see some movement around the top of the volcano. You know, roughly nearby the caldera. What appears to be certain flying creatures that you can't quite identify from a distance what they may be, seem to be circling around the top of the volcano. You don't believe them to be, you know, like dragons or anything like that. No, although they do look kind of reptilian at a glance. They...
Are we able to guesstimate their size? Like size of a chimera, size of a
they don't look
griffin?
nearly as big as a chimera. In fact, they upon first glance, like, you know, just like eyeballing it at a distance, they don't appear to be any bigger than like a medium-sized creature.
Okay.
What's it called? Those of you with a passive perception of I'll say 13 and above can more or less pinpoint their general shape. They appear to be these elongated creatures with sort of like long, far-stretching wings, and this also kind of like stretched out head shape of sorts that seem to be flying around, you know, the volcano.
Oh, it's a pterodactyl.
Well, pteranodon, more accurately, to be more precise. But yes.
They're great.
The P is silent.
What's it called? But yes, you would see those types of creatures sort of like be circling around the top of the volcano. Upon catching a glimpse of this, the scout kind of gestures to move a different direction to avoid being perceived by them. What's it called? Which eventually will lead you up this winding road that seems to not be entirely naturally formed by the surrounding region. Almost like a man-made pathway that has been carved on the side of the volcano through, well, what was probably months or years of effort on behalf of the, you know, of the inhabitants. What's it called? Eventually, the long winding road will lead you even further closer and up the volcano. to the point where you believe Drakgar, because you're the one that rolled a 21. You spot what you believe to be a cave of sorts that seems to lead into the volcano, which isn't a normal sight, I suppose, as far as you're aware of volcanoes. But you did recall, hearing, from the scout that there are ancient roads that haven't been really used for quite a while that may still lead you closer to the volcano. This could be it. It is not really at the, it's as far as you're aware, because of the absence of, a nearby creature. This could potentially be a side entrance, though you're not 100% sure. You pointed it
Should
and
we go
asked
to-
if we should go that way.
sorry.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry?
I was just gonna say, should we go to the secret entrance? Or that cave over there? And I'll point at it.
Does it look dark?
Yes. And you're not quite sure how long it goes. Your dark vision gives out, before, around a 60-foot mark, but it does seem like the tunnel is longer than that. Upon making note of the tunnel, the scout turns back and says, "A keen eye. Perhaps you are far more experienced at this than we originally believed. As expected of those who claim to be, the... Apologies, what did you claim the name of your crew is to our queen?"
The Dawnbringers.
Of
We're the
course.
Dawnbringers.
A proud title. Strong one, too.
Thank you.
Yes, but this is probably one of the ancient roads that I was speaking of. There is still, of course, the main approach to the volcano's caldera, but it might be you might face opposition if you wish to use it. Though, of course, I cannot tell you where exactly this tunnel leads. And as far as my commands from my queen go, this is as far as I can allow myself to follow you.
Yes,
so I'll ask you guys as a group. Are you going in through this side entrance or test your luck with the, main approach to the volcano?
I'm
This
team
bird
side
just told
entrance,
us
but
this, or the scout told us this.
The scout told you,
Okay.
basically that there is a quote-unquote main pathway that leads up to the volcano's caldera, but as far as he's aware, that's probably protected heavily. So he's basically telling you guys, I don't know where this road leads to, this tunnel leads to, but you could use it, you could take your chances, or you could, also take your chances with the main entryway.
I mean, I'm team. Let's go through the tunnel.
Same.
so 2, 3.
Let's
Three
just try
A's.
the side entrance. Let's try the more secluded one.
So we're all
I never
sticking up
expected
here.
you guys to come to the main entrance. Come on, guys.
I asked the
So-
group if they want me to use my gem of brightness to light the way, or if we want to do it with dark vision to not, cause any issues. If there's people in there.
I
You're
think we should only use that gem when we need to blind people.
I mean, it
can
doesn't
cast-
cost anything
I
to
can
use
cast
it as a
light
light.
on. I can cast light on Drax's weapons, so we have more light.
Right, but you'll waste a spell.
It's a cantrip.
Oh, okay. Because I can
your
use my gem with
is
no
just
repercussions.
a little too bright.
Fine.
so
I just
guess
kind
we're
of
on the side
out
entrance
a
now?
little bit.
Also, we really need to invest in getting you some more armor.
What's wrong with my armor?
You're very noisy,
But I'm also very hard to hit.
but we keep ending up in situations where we're trying to just be sneaky.
And none of us are sneaky classes. So how does that work?
Should we
We
have
end up not being able to sneak because you're noisy.
Well, how about I just hang out in the back and I'll follow you guys.
So, what is gonna be the marching order here?
Probably me front since I have the light. And then probably Bo in the back since he's the noisiest. And then the others up to y'all.
I'm gonna be near
Guys,
the
just
back
wait
as
till
well.
I nat 1 or I nat 20 a stealth check with my heavy armor, okay?
That would
It's
be
gonna
so
happen.
funny.
-40.
He nats 20. Random giant ass bang from the other side of the room distracts from those crunch, 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 crunch.
It just suddenly gets so windy that like they just can't hear his armor.
But yeah, I guess that's the order. It's gonna be Drac in the front, then Cass, Porunga, and Derek, and then me in the back. And then I guess Wizzy's coming too, isn't he?
Yeah,
I
but
will
with
say
this-
the pathway looks a little bit too narrow for Wizzy, like to the point where it might
Aw.
be a tight squeeze for them.
Could he go?
like
Could he go up?
So just to describe the passageway that you guys found, it looks only barely only barely like 6 to 8 feet wide. It is still roughly like 8 to 9 feet tall. So it's still like roof wise, basically, it's still pretty big. But wide wise is not gonna be good enough to be a comfortable fit for wizard. You guys can barely be like can kind of be like shoulder to shoulder and still be like just barely enough space for none of you to be like squeezing properly. Like what's it called? Otherwise, for wizard, who's a large sized creature, it's going to be fairly hard for it to make it through.
All right,
Oh,
so
also,
instead I give
before-
him specific directions to hide and guard the entrance and to make a really, really loud noise
Okay.
if somebody's coming.
You know what? He could just shine his. No, never mind.
Shall we make him invisible?
Before we go into the tunnel, I look back at the 3 we dragged along, and I say, if you want out, this is your chance. This is the point of no return.
I mean, you brought us along for some reason, right? And it's a long row back to the ship.
Well, I just wanted to double check. I wanted it to be your option, and I didn't want y'all to feel forced.
Well, I mean, you waited for one hell of a time to start giving us that option. Instead of, way back when we was at the village.
Look, I'm good
Wait,
at
what are you
I'm
talking
good
about?
at
I
breaking
gave him that
bones.
before we
I'm
got
not
too
good.
loud.
I'm good at breaking bones. I'm not good at timing. Okay.
Rutger kinda speaks up and says,
Oh.
That man is just messing with you. We are here for what you may need of us, and that requires you to go down that dark, dank cave. Then we shall do just that. Just point us where we need to be, and we'll follow.
I stand by what I said on the boat. If we get into trouble and you guys wish to flee, please do so. You guys have family and friends back in a different something or other. I really still don't understand how that works. This is our war, but if you wish to stay and fight, you will always be welcomed. And of course, you would not go unrewarded.
They kind of shrug, and Heliope says, "Oh, I am quite most curious as to how is it that you're going to handle this particular challenge. So I will stay,
Me?
and if anything, just to see how it goes."
I look back at my crew. So, we know that I hate killing people, so I am for capturing him.
Can I at
And
least break
taking
their
him and
bones
letting his
as long as I
own
don't kill them?
people- Huh?
So can I at least break their bones if I don't kill them?
I don't
Yeah,
like
no,
killing.
That's okay.
I don't like
that's
killing people, says the one that was okay with a son being killed for eating.
I don't like killing people. Me.
Nice degrees
I'm
of
only a killer
separation.
when I'm pushed.
Which has only been happening because of Derek. I am okay with apprehending them and turning them into, obviously the tribes of this island for their own tribunal ways to go about how they wish to fix this issue. But part of me also wants to keep him alive to ask questions. Like, how did he come in contact with Sidon? How was he gifted these weapons? Why was he gifted these weapons? Because we know Guy's story. I'm just curious as to what this tribe leader was given or what he was saved from to have taken this path. Because part of our trial is to essentially find out why people follow Sidon. That's all.
Well, I guess let's keep going.
Okay. So you're leaving Wizard behind, basically, while you continue down the tunnel.
Yeah,
give me one
somebody
moment.
said they can make him invisible and he's going to be our guard dog.
Okay. Again, as far as you're aware, the paths seem fairly out of the way, but, always taking precautions is good. What's it called? You guys begin to head down the tunnel, and now I need to switch to, to the next, ambience here. Nope, not that one. What the fuck was that?
Oh, that
Yeah,
sounded
I was like,
boss
oh
fight,
god.
right? Boss fight already? Let's go.
How hard is it to just find, like, volcano ambience? Like...
Just need the music from what's that Diamond and Pearl, the electron, on the volcano.
Basically. There we go, that's better. At some point during your journey, it becomes clear that you're approaching more and more the heart of the volcano, at the very least the top of it. The long, old, winding tunnel will eventually begin to be impacted by a degree of heat that at first doesn't seem like all that much until it begins climbing and climbing and climbing. At some point, you find yourselves being assailed by the smell of the of like burning, basically. But also the sound, a very loud sound, of the interior of the volcano. Lava bubbling, rocks being flinged, or at the very least, some form of substance being pushed out. It makes it loud enough that is surprising how, people can just, like, stay here and just listen to this all day. It isn't until you begin to actually see a light at the end of the tunnel where you realize, oh, you're right here. The floor below you creaks as obsidian shards begin to splinter at your every step. There is, the passage becomes even slightly narrower the closer you get to the light of at the end of the tunnel, until you eventually find yourselves staring face to face with well, the main caldera of the volcano as I move you guys to the next map. Oh shit, one moment. I just realized I didn't place down the camera. So the audience is in the fucking dark. Hey, give me a moment. Lighting assets, camera. Those of you without dark vision, will be able to have a degree of your vision be illuminated by just the sheer light that emanates from the, from the volcano itself, while you would see like around, various wooden structures or structures in general that seem to be, built around the certain points of the volcano, almost serving as bungalows or shacks of sorts that have been constructed in such a way to be in close proximity, but not quite at risk of being engulfed by the magma. What's it called? There is a strange allure, shall we say, to just how can somebody stand to live like this and be okay with it? Almost curiosity almost strikes you for a couple of seconds before you realize, oh, we're in a fucking volcano. At this point, I will ask you guys: were you guys bothering being stealthy at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm gonna need everybody to roll me a stealth check.
Here we go, guys.
Mind you guys are traveling with more people, so that's a higher chance of failure.
I'm fucking laughing because Bouxfhades sounded so far away from his mic, which he is definitely way, way, way at the back of the party anyways.
Oh, Porunga. Please, it's not me.
I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll.
Are you using a sorcery point to reroll?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god. At least it's not a 2.
And do we notice?
Yeah, you notice what?
I was just gonna say, do we like notice any like? Are there any like traps or anything, or do we notice anything along the way?
We'll get to that in a moment.
Oh no, that response sounded scary.
Well, here's the thing. Before I resolve the stealth checks, important question to all of you guys: what is y'all's passive perception?
13.
17.
Mine's a 13.
13.
Bro rolled a 5.
17.
Oh no.
I heard a 17 somewhere there.
Yeah. I'm a
Uh,
17.
Okay. Anybody with a passive perception of 16 and above would be able to notice part of the pathway that you're now walking on. I did mention before how you heard like obsidian shards being like cracked underneath your feet as you were walking. Upon fine-tuning your senses and picking up a little bit more in your surroundings, again, those of you with a 16 and above will be able to tell that this area is not the most stable of terrains. The ground beneath you is, very almost literally cracking with every step. One wrong move and it could break beneath your feet, and you would be sliding off towards the volcano itself. What's the call? With that being said, however, time to resolve that stealth check. So how many of you are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I'm the only one that passed. Hands
6,
down.
7, 8. I mean, these are group stealths. That's why I need to take into account everybody's role.
I mean, I rolled a 17. I'm pretty sure. 17.
Well,
No,
me and
Drac would
Rutger,
go.
I know what's up.
Just me and you, Drac. We
Yeah.
gotta carry this stealth check.
Is Pumo here?
I hope so. Actually, do I hope so?
Pumo, Derek, you can't be falling asleep every session like this.
You did.
Well, alright. In that case, give me one moment. So that's 7 of you. I'm going to divide this by 7.
Derek stayed behind with Wizzy Lizzy.
11. 7-11. What's it called? So, you come up into the open here, in the volcano's caldera. Again, there's like a certain degree of noise, that like carries here, because of just the the sheer proximity to the volcano's like opening. You believe, you hope, this was enough to hide your approach. Except around the time where you make it to your current positions on the map, when you're already outside the cave and stepping in this, precarious, like narrow, cracking pathway rather. It's fully accommodate you guys a little bit better there. You begin to notice that on one of the rope wooden bridges, that that connects some of these shacks to one another, you would see a lone lizard folk. Seems to be adorned in similar but ever so slightly different attire to the ones in the from Queen Vita's tribe. They seem to be doing some form of patrol rounds along the the two buildings, but then they stop halfway through the wooden bridge. They turn around and they see your direction and they stare at you for a couple of seconds before you see them kind of very quickly reach for their weapons. And I need everybody to roll me initiative.
Wamp wamp. So you're saying no witnesses?
We're taking the heavy stealth approach.
He's a heavy stuff.
I mean, as far as this lone lizard folk is aware, you guys don't belong here. You guys are intruders.
Yeah, there's no reason to sneak if there's no witnesses.
True.
You hear the lizard folk.
Andrea is shaking her head like, why do I even try with this party?
What's it called? You hear the lizard folk interconic.
Can you describe exactly what the lizard folk heard from our group?
Well, I did say how the obsidian pathway was cracking underneath your feet. Segments of rock were sort of like coming loose and falling down the little slope incline that is, the ground surrounding the pathway. Not only that, but 2 of you, at the very least, are moving using heavy armor. One being Bouxfhades, the other one being Rutger, who, with no clear instructions given, was sort of moving towards the front with the Drakgar. Seeing as he is more of a melee fighter, as you've been told. What's it called? So yes, take your pick. It's either you guys moving alongside the pathway and cracking all the fucking stone in your way, or it's the 2 people with heavy armor trying to move around the place stealthily. Pick your poison here. But with the I forgot to roll initiative for the other people. Give me one moment, because they are also very much part of this conflict. So just point out, important thing. Because now you're going to be moving under fire, so to speak. Moving 10 feet or more alongside the pathway that you are seeing in front of you will force you guys to make a dexterity saving throw or avoid falling with the falling segments of the floor and sliding into the volcano.
Uh-oh.
You probably don't want to do that.
Wait,
unless
say that again?
basically, if you walk in the 10 feet or more in the pathway that you're currently at, it'll require you make a dexterity saving throw or avoid starting to fall on the slope that leads to the volcano.
Oh, okay.
What's it called?
God, that's
Derek, are you here?
Pumo. Damn it.
This is becoming a very recurrent thing. Like he just kind of disappears during the sessions. I'm gonna need to talk to him about this.
yeah.
What's it called? Because like I get it. Maybe roleplay's not for everybody. At the very least, I ask for some degree of attention. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna say.
That's why I said just he stayed back with Lizzie. He's
I'm
back with Lizzie camping out.
gonna say Derek is over there, stroking his crown and his ego at the same time.
I thought that was going a completely different direction.
Well, just comes to show what your mind defaults to.
Dad.
Shit. So, let's get some combat music.
Let's get jiggy with it.
Let's see. Maybe, I feel like if I type volcano battle, like the song, in the fucking bot, it's gonna give me like the Metroid soundtrack or something. Like,
Music.
or Monster Hunter maybe.
Oh yeah.
You know what? This works. I'm not even gonna complain. Drakgar. You fucking see the lizard folk draw his weapons, and you see its eyes go kind of like shift in between the left and right sides of the bridge. Oh, hold on. I was there we go. Yeah, in between the left and right sides. You're not sure what they're planning, but they seem to be eyeing both sides of the bridge at the moment.
Okay. Is
10.
the
Stop right there, Drakgar. At the 10 feet mark, remember what I said. I'm gonna need you to make me dexterity saving throw.
come on? Yes.
So you have danger sense, correct?
Yes, I do.
What is the DC? Okay. So you begin to move forward, and then during your second step forward, you hear as the ground begins to give out underneath you. You're like, oh shit, and just very quickly sidestep off to the side. The segment of the ground gives out, and you see as the rocks begin to tumble down the slope towards the volcano. Could have been a lot worse for you, but you managed to not fall.
What's like this thing right in front of me? Is that like a?
That
Good.
appears to be one of the shacks that I have been mentioning, as I was describing the area. You do see another pathway to your side that seems to lead further north, but you're not quite sure where that leads.
But does the shack is where the bridge is, right?
Correct.
It
I
looks
mean,
like
you
it.
believe it could be connected, though you're not sure.
Okay, well I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit.
Okay, you move further. Hold on. So you move 5, 10, 20, 25, 20, well, 20 feet over there. You move into the adjacent room from the bridge that the lizard folk was standing in. And you would notice there's a second lizard folk in the room next to you that seems to have been in the process of also drawing his weapons. And when he realized one of his allies spotted you.
So he's in this room, right?
Does Drac illuminate some of this?
Actually, yes, that's right. You are emitting some degree of light, so let me make it so that people can see light being emanated from you. Lighting-
The lighting looks weird. Like right here is showing for me,
Right,
but like right here's
light.
not. And there's like a.
I
what
can't
do
see
we-
nothing.
Give me a moment. Alright, bright light. Well, how much is light? 20 feet bright, 20 foot dim?
1 second and I'll post.
The reason why it's dark inside the volcano is because, well, like I said, there's still a steady stream of smoke emanating from the from the volcano itself. So it does actually obscure segments of it, and makes it so that light is like less reliable, I suppose, as you would believe. What's it called? So yes, Drakgar, from your perspective, you should be able to see segments, a couple of segments from your position.
Okay, so I made 20 feet so far, right?
Correct.
Okay, 25, 30. And then I'm gonna rage and reckless. Oh wait, that was also supposed to be divine strike, so I'll roll that.
17, yeah, that hits.
And then the second one.
Okay. So 17 and 16 both hit. Could you add me all the damage?
So that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20.
20 points of damage. So with 2 swings, you managed to carve out like an X-shape fucking wound on this lizard folk here, who looks very, very worse for wear. He's looking like he's already almost at his last legs. He snarls at you in Draconic and says, "Who are you? Intruders! Here to make an attempt on King Yankor's life. You will be stopped right here."
I'll end my turn.
Porunga, it is your turn.
I'm going to cast Witch Bolts on this guy right here.
On the one on the bridge?
What?
Alright, go
He's
ahead.
using another spell?
What? He's not using missile.
Bitch has other arsenal tools?
When in doubt, magic missile.
I just added it when we leveled up last.
Missile
Alright,
it
so
out.
roll me your witch bolt. 17 will hit for 4 points of lightning damage on this lizard folk, and now you're tethered to the lizard folk through this beam of crackling light.
I'm just gonna move up 10 feet.
Alright. And at the 10 feet mark, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw as more of the pathway gives out underneath you.
Oh crap.
You guys see as the ground underneath Porunga.
Can I
I
was gonna try to re-roll it.
Does your sorcery ability allow you to reroll saving throws as well?
Oh, well, let me see. It doesn't say. It just says ability check.
Then it does not help you for saving throws, sadly.
No.
Alright, hold on, let me just make sure this magic, yeah, nope, it doesn't say saving throws. What's it called? Hey man, you know, it'd be like that sometimes. So you see as the ground underneath Porunga shit, sorry, begins to give out and eventually breaks underneath his feet, and he begins to slide down the slope incline towards the volcano. You move 5, 10, 15 feet right here as you are now sliding towards the volcano. unless somebody's able to stop you before your next turn, that's gonna hurt a lot.
Oof.
Okay, I guess I'll just end my turn.
You are considered under while in the slope. It's considered difficult terrain, and if you wish to remain there for whatever reason, at the end of each of your turns, you're gonna need to make another dexterity saving throw to avoid falling onto the volcano. All right. So are you just gonna end your turn there?
Yeah, because I don't think I can do anything else.
All right. Dengren is going to realize the pathway is kind of bad, but we can probably just move around and try and make it less shitty for us. He is just going to start moving forward and trying to praying and hoping for the best. So he moves 10 feet. Dex save. 11. Does that make it? Let me double check. Key location. Oh, yep. That actually does make it. The DC is 10. So you were a couple of numbers off there, Porunga. Sorry. So he manages to stay, move to the side, stay on his feet, and then takes like a breath, begins to move forward. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, moves right here, looks over at Porunga, who's sliding down the incline, and he says, "I got you, buddy," as he will use his action to try and grapple Porunga and move him away from the falling floor. He is going to. So yes, do you fight the grapple in any way, shape, or form, Porunga?
You said what?
Do you fight the grapple in any way, shape, or form?
No.
Okay, so he's going to grapple you, and he just pulls you further up the pathway. You move 5, 10, 20, 25. Actually, hold on. Let me just make sure I did cut him correctly. 5. You can move one more step. After pulling Porunga to relative safety, he kind of nods to you, and he begins to move into the next room. He begins to draw his scimitar with his other hand. However, he uses his action to try and help you out of there, so that is his turn. Exandri.
Whew. So Porunga is now safe, though, right?
Relatively speaking, he's still, because of the limitations of the grapple in this particular case, he's still technically just a little bit off the road. So if he ends his turn there, he will need to make the dex save again.
Okay, so I just shake my head and fly down there. Fuck, we have so many comrades right now. Fuck, we have so many comrades. How long does this last again? 8 hours? Yeah, I bet. Okay. So I have to touch them. No, it's within range. And then if it's at a higher level, what do I get? Okay. I throw both of my hands up in the air as this glowy white light starts to protrude from it, and I thrust my hands forward and I yell aid as I cast aid at 4th level, and I cast aid on Porunga, the person who just saved Porunga, my brother Drak.
Thank you.
Who else is down there already?
Aid only targets 3 people. upcasting it increases
At
the
fourth
amount.
level, I get to do one more.
Could you put the spell descriptions on
Yeah,
on the
let me
phone?
pull it back up. Their HP, like the HP to get back each. It's so laggy. Sorry, it's frozen.
Hold on, actually,
I'm not gonna be able to do it.
let me
Okay,
check
there we go.
your sheet.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, okay, so no, it's just the target's hit points increased by 5. Okay.
Yes, I could have sworn that was the case. So yes, you can only target 3
Okay.
people, but the amount of health that they get increases per spell level. It's not
All right,
like
so it'll be those.
BG3 that it targets the entire party. So go ahead.
So they get I'm flying, so 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, if you're flying, you don't need to make the dex save. You move right there. You. Oh man, my own roll 20 now is lagging. When I tried to open your sheet, that's what lagged. Maybe your sheet is fucking cursed, and that's what lags roll 20.
Oh my god.
Something, because this is laggy over here. Okay, so yeah, so at 4th level, I will cast Aid, and I'm going to change my targets a little bit. It's going to be the person who saved Porunga, Drak, and myself. We get 10 temporary hit points at the start of my turn. So every time it's my turn, we get 10 temporary hit points back. They do not stack, it's always just 10.
Wait, hold on. What were you
But it
casting?
lasts for 8 hours. Aid.
I believe you misinterpreted Aid. Aid increases your maximum and current hit points by the amount of health that is described in the spell.
Oh, okay, so I was thinking of heroism. Okay, I'll
yes,
cast that next. So right now
heroism
it's
is
just
the
8.
other thing. Aid basically makes it so that, for whatever maximum hit points currently it is their health, for the next 8 hours it's increased by the amount of hit points specified in the spells. So in this case,
Okay.
if you were to target Drakgar, Porunga, and Dengren with the 4th level Aid, their maximum hit points would increase by the health. So instead of 81 for a Drakgar would be 86 or 90 something, or however much you upcast it for.
Okay. So for the next 8 hours, we have 10 extra hit points. 10 extra health.
Hold on, so you're casting it at level 3 or level 4?
4. I casted it at 4 for 10.
I think it increases
Each level
by
is
5. Yes, so 8 is a
Yeah,
second
so
level
it's
spell.
10.
So at 3rd level
Oh, it
it's
is?
10, at 4th it would be 15.
Oh, just kidding. 15. I don't know why I thought this was a 3rd level spell, guys.
I mean, it's pretty good for a second level
let's
spell.
do 3rd. Okay,
third?
let's
Also-
do 3rd. 3rd,
third?
yeah, 3rd.
Okay.
I only went 10. Yeah, 10.
Alright, so Porunga, Drakgar, increase your maximum hit points by 10 hit points. But remember, it's a temporary bonus, so be sure to remember what was your health before the increase.
No, I didn't
Thank
give
you.
him to Porunga. I gave him to the new guy, Drak, and myself.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, so you, Drakgar, and Dengren. Right, so yeah, well, the statement still stands. Increase your maximum hit points by 10. However, keep track of what your original hit points were before that. Alright, that is your action. Anything else?
Um, for my bonus action, can I perceive what's down this hallway? Because let's see, so it's 5, 10,
doesn't
15,
really
20.
Yeah, it doesn't really take a bonus action to perceive that. I'll just allow you to make me like an ability check for it.
Because I can still move 2 up. God, it's so laggy. Actually, is there anything that I could tie a rope to?
The wooden bridges, perhaps?
Could I tie a rope to it and just throw the loose end towards Porunga in case he fludges up again?
I'll say you can use an item interaction to pull out the rope and pass it over to Porunga if you were to have flown past him. But tying it and doing all of that would have required your action, because that's
An
kind of
action,
an intricate, an intricate action to take.
Okay, no, I'm good here.
All right. But if you want to more or less perceive what's going on down that tunnel, you can roll me a perception check. I'll just allow that for free. Looks like Derek is back. Pumo, are you back?
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, well, in the future, try to avoid that, because session time. Also, I don't stop moving your token around the map. I'm trying to pull you back to where the party is at, and you can go ahead and roll me initiative, Derek. So yes, perception check, Exandri.
If it lets me, I do apologize. It's really laggy out of the blue.
Because I'm awake now.
Perception. Okay, finally my first page loaded.
Nine. Due to the volcano's general sound of the lava bubbles erupting, just the general noise that this is making. As far as hearing, you can't hear anything of what's happening over there. However, I'll say even with a 9, you believe there is some form of light source illuminating around the corner, basically, of the cave. So that means there's someone or something around the corner of that that little tunnel.
Alright. Awesome.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Alright. Rutger is going to start moving. Actually, will he? Nope, yes, he kinda has to. He's a melee fighter. He's going to start moving 5, 10, and at the 10-foot mark, he needs to make that dex save. DC 10. No. Rutger begins to fall down into the slope. I'll say because Porunga, you're technically safe, in quotations, because you were helped up by Dengren. I'll allow you to use your reaction to attempt to catch Rutger before he falls any further.
Okay.
If you wish to use your reaction for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw on his behalf, basically. If you fail it, you won't be pulled with him. It's just basically to see if you're able to pull him back.
That's my worst one.
And he dies.
You make it. Okay. You make it. You see Rutger kind of slide off the side of the road of the pathway. He's like, "Oh shit!" As he begins to slide further down, however, you're like, "I've seen this before," and you just kind of reach out and manage to grab him by the scruff of his armor before he falls any further. He's currently technically still prone though, as he fell. Yeah, 5, 10, 15. Yes, so he only fell the first 10 feet. He's going to look at you, Porunga, and nod along, like, "Thanks for safe!" And he's at a bit of an odd angle, because technically prone next to the lizard folk. What's it called? So if he attacks, it would be with disadvantage. He is going to very quickly, instead, use his action to dash. stand up from prone, and then move back into the room. Into the pathway to then get into the room. So he can actually approach the fucking lizard folk from a good angle. Actually, my bad. You know what? He's a smarter cookie than that. He's still gonna use his action to dash, so he can stand up from prone. But he's going to jump up onto the wooden bridge with the lizard folk. With his strength score, he's fairly capable of doing that. The bridge shakes a little bit as Rutger falls or lands on top of it. As the lizard folk looks at him, a little bit worried. That's it for Rutger's turn. The lizard folk next to Drakgar looks profusely bleeding. You hear him shout towards the south area of the you hear him shout towards the south, but there doesn't seem to be any response. It seems the sound of the volcano works both ways. It would be difficult for them to call reinforcements from a distance. With no response from reinforcements, the lizard folk turns to you, Drakgar, and is going to attempt to get a few licks in against you. So he's going to do a multi-attack. 2 melee attacks. First one will be he's going to attempt to bite you, Drakgar.
No.
22 will hit. For 5 points of piercing. Were you raging?
Yeah, raging.
Reduce to 2. And then his second attack, he has this kind of like javelin of sorts that he was intending to throw, but now that you're melee range, he can just stab you. 17.
That also hits.
For
3.
6 points of piercing, reduced to 3. Alright. He's then gonna attempt to move like south, not quite exiting your threat range, but you can see its intentions to move away. This one over here is going to, first of all, call out to the room next to it. You see it turn around and yell out in Draconic, "Wake up! We are under attack! To arms! Defend the volcano at all costs!" As you hear some noise coming in from the room next to him.
Is that the room that I'm by?
No. Hold on, I forgot. You can't see my arrow in this location. This room. Shouted into this room. And that's 1. And that is 2. Okay. So that wasn't really his action. So he can just turn around and begin laying some strikes in on Rutger, actually. They're going to do just that. 1 bite and 1 javelin. 17 hits, Rutger, for 7 points of piercing on the old dwarf. Alright, that's it for this. This is Bouxfhades. Your turn.
So I got a proposition for you here. Could I, instead of having a full 30 feet of movement, can I take a half movement of 15 and every 5 feet stab my greatsword into the ground to, basically gain advantage?
I mean, you can have your movement if you wish. I guess you're purposely imposing difficult terrain on yourself because you're not gonna move your full movement.
Well, I just figured you wouldn't let me move my full movement if I was, trying to stab a greatsword into the ground every 5 feet.
I'll say, because it's not just about stabbing the ground with the greatsword. You have to stab in such a way that it's a leverage for you and not just breaking the ground underneath you and you fall anyway. So I'll say roll me a Roll me a survival check to kind of figure where would the optimal place of stabbing your Grayson would be to try and discern, you know, where to do it. That's 17. I'll say you're able to more or less guesstimate where the ground looks the more stable for you to start doing your stabbing. You believe, you know, should give you enough leverage. Yeah, you can move at least your 15 feet without needing to do the saving throw. But anything more than that, and you'll be, you know, you'll be at risk of doing the saving throw again.
Well, I can get the right thing. Oh gosh.
You might have the arrow tool selected rather than the select tool.
Yeah, I had the wrong thing. And also, no, never mind. Yeah, that'd be it for me.
You're not gonna take your action?
Just, I guess I could. I don't think I can because I can't really switch weapons without, could would I know you said that it's smoky in here. Would my gem of brightness work in here?
It'll certainly help you, you know, avoid well, at least improve your visibility.
Well, I mean, like if I use its ability to like try to blind someone, could it still blind them with all the smoke?
Yes, because, you know, the blind kind of cuts through the light kind of cuts through the smoke a little bit. You know, if you look at a bright light through a smoke screen, you're still looking at a bright light. What's it called? So, you know, I say you would be able to.
I'm gonna shoot a beam of light at the guy on the bridge in hopes that he fucking falls off the bridge.
Well, you will blind him, but we'll see if we actually fall. So your action, you activate the Gem of Brightness and try to angle in such a way that you don't hit Porunga or Rutger, so you can hit the Lizardfolk. And then, just out of curiosity,
Past him.
how far is the line of the Gem of Brightness?
It's a 60-foot beam or a 30-foot cone.
I'm guessing you're doing the beam instead of the cone, so you don't hit.
Yes, yeah. So I don't blind all my allies.
Okay. So in that case, I'll say you can pull out the Gem of Brightness and in brightest day, in blackest night. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Bouxfhades' light. As you fucking
That was
blind.
really great. That was phenomenal.
That was fucking amazing.
What is that? What is the DC of the Gem of Brightness? I rolled a 14.
It is a hold on, I literally just had it pulled up.
So Bo's a Green Lantern now. Got it.
It is a 15, a DC 15
so
Constitution saving throw.
So he just fails, meaning this Lesser Folk is now blinded.
Hell yeah.
So you kind of shoot the beam of light, hoping and praying that any other nearby Lizard Folk or other sentries didn't see that. And this one kind of puts like a hand over their eyes and is just like, "Ah, the light has blinded me." Anything else, please?
That'll be it for my turn.
Heliope. She's gonna look through her spell book real quick. She's like, this might help. This might help. All right. She is going to. Let's see. She is going to attempt to shoot a firebolt at the Lizard Folk that is blinded with advantage. Because it is blinded. I just say 25 to hit. deals 11 points of fire damage as she shoots the firebolt. She was able to actually see the. Yeah, she can actually see the Lizardfolk as it's being illuminated by Drakgar's light. So Lizardfolk takes 11 points of fire damage. She is then going to look over and say, "I need a better positioning than this this place." One moment. So she's gonna look over at the pathway right behind Drakgar, the one that Xandri is standing on top of. And with her bonus action, she is going to cast Misty Step to get to that location without risking having to walk through the rickety pathway.
I'm also flying, so we could share this same square as well. I just want to point that out. I am literally in the air.
I mean, that's fine. She's only aiming to get a better position so she doesn't walk through the fucking pathway. So, there you go. Misty Step. She's gonna warp over here. And she's gonna stay right there. She doesn't want to get too close. Alright. We are now at the top of the round. What's it called? With the new Lizardfolk joining in the combat order. What's it called? That being said, we are very close to session end time. So I'll ask you guys. Do you guys want to just finish up this round of combat, or should we stop it here at the top of the initiative? And then we pick up next week.
Well, let's do one more round.
Yeah, I want to do one more round.
Nothing. I'll probably walk down one more step and that's it anyway.
Okay. In that case, we'll do one more round initiative. This Lizardfolk, who just woke up and is being alerted by his ally about the incoming attacks, is gonna walk up to the edge of the bridge. Most of you guys can't see it, but Drakgar can, I believe. Drakgar, can you see that Lizardfolk that just walked up?
Yes.
Okay. He's gonna look at you and your source of light. Okay, you are both just within range of its javelin. I'm gonna roll a D2. One is Drakgar, 2 is Rudger, to see who he does the javelin at. That is Drakgar. This one is going to toss a javelin at you.
It's gonna
missing
my
with a natural 1. Missing with a natural 1. You guys, those of you who can't see the Lizardfolk, just see a javelin fly above Rutger's and the other Lizardfolk's heads, and just you don't even hear it impact anywhere noticeable. Lizardfolk is then gonna walk back a little bit. Derek, what do you do?
Move 5 feet and that's it.
Any actions, bonus actions?
I mean, I could definitely thunder step, but then I'll cause like a interaction in the cave where the volcano turns on.
You can't just normally attack the people attack you guys, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, I
can
could probably whip out my bow, but to be honest,
that sounds like a really good idea.
You have plenty of options here, Derek. You can Beast Mockery, you can attack with a ranged weapon, you can use bonus action to give a Bard Inspiration to one of your allies if you wish. There's plenty of options available to you at the moment if you wish to take it.
I'll use my hand crossbow, I guess. I'll shoot the one. Then Derek's like, "What the is?"
Yeah, I
shoot the one
believe
that's
you. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to shoot the ones in front of, I guess, Rudger. I guess if that's one of the evil ones, I don't know.
You did see him begin to attack Rudger before he was blinded by Bouxfhades.
Yeah, so I'll shoot that one, I guess.
Okay. 24
4.
hits for 4 points of piercing damage.
I shoot his kneecaps.
Not quite enough to finish him off, but it does look pretty bad.
And
yes, you were just you were just within the effective range of the hand crossbow. So yes, that's your action. Anything else?
I give Bouxfhades inspiration, but like, hey, just don't fall down the slope, alright?
All right.
That's all he gets.
Bonus action, burn inspiration, Bouxfhades.
You're welcome. See him helping you.
Is the equivalent of just don't get hit. But yes. Well, actually, hold on. Was that the end of your turn, Derek?
Yeah, I can't do nothing else to be honest. Bonus
Okay.
action or any action.
Drakgar, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna attack the lizard folk. Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's surviving that one.
Like I said, he was already on his last legs with your first 2 swings, so yeah, definitely the second swing is enough to take it down. How do you take him down?
I'm gonna smack him with the back of my axe and knock him out non-lethal.
Oh, the back of the axe, meaning the other blade. Yeah, the other blade of the axe. What's it called? But like, unless you're using a one-sided great axe, in which case, yeah, I guess that's acceptable.
Oh, I thought it was, but my bad.
I mean, no,
I thought you meant the hilt.
I was just trying
Yeah,
to.
that's what I meant to say. I meant to say the help.
I was just memeing. It's just like when you say the back of the axe, my mind instantly goes to 2-headed axes. So, like, so the other blade. What's it called?
This side's too bloody. I'm gonna.
What's it
Easy
called? But
this
yes, you knock out this lizard folk.
And then, is this bridge too narrow for me to pass through Drakgar on, or?
You can stand on Rutger's space to do your attack. You just can't end your turn in an ally space.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'm gonna use my, if it lets me, second attack. Oh.
Yes, that hits. How do you want to take down the second lizard folk?
Same thing. I'm gonna smack it with the
just
hilt.
And his limp body falls on top of the bridge.
And then I'm gonna move back here because actually no, I'm gonna. Can I move on top of his body, or where his body's at? Or
You
no?
can, considering he's no longer, he's incapacitated and therefore no longer a threat to you. You can move into the unconscious body space.
Standing on his chest.
Sorry, buddy. But yeah, I'm in my turn.
Okay. All right. Porunga, the target of your witch bolt has been incapacitated. What do you do?
I'm gonna go ahead and start moving into the room.
All right. So you move. You collect yourself, walk into the pathway, and then move back into the room.
And I'll step right here. And I can see this guy over here, right?
You can indeed.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast firebolts at him.
All right.
Or
roll me your firebolt.
okay, yeah.
I take it. I take it you drop concentration on witch bolt.
Yeah.
Okay. So there we go. Firebolt.
Wait, does he know that he can continuously use it?
Well, if Porunga
The target
knows-
died though.
Yeah, like I said, the target was incapacitated. So, like, if you want to keep the crackling energy going and roast his unconscious body, then that's up to you.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
What's it called?
That'd be a terrible way to
You
go.
can't change the target?
I don't believe you can with the Witch Bolt. I think once you shoot at somebody, you commit to continuously doing damage to them. I could be wrong though. If you want, Porunga, you can put the spell up in the chat, and we'll read the description real quick. I know there's some spells that allow you to switch targets after the original one is dealt with. On each of your turn for duration, you can use your action to deal
I don't remember reading
target automatically. The spell ends if you use action or anything else. As far as the range, if that's cover for you. It doesn't say anything about being able to switch targets, so yes, sadly you won't be able to like switch it to the next lizard folk. So you're doing firebolt, correct?
Yeah.
Alright, so 24 hits for 17 points of damage on the next lizard folk. Your firebolt sears a segment of its shoulder. It screams out in pain. Ah! You will not get away with that.
I just say okay, and then end my turn.
You hear in the back of your mind, Porunga, something like, "Good start. Now finish them." Exandri, it is your turn.
Alright, oh. Do I want to waste spells? No, I don't. So I take out my Cupid spell, notch it, and aim for this guy right here. Wait, is this guy which ones are unconscious? I can't see.
The one, this one inside the building is unconscious. Drakgar just, finished it off.
Okay, that one.
This
so
one on the bridge,
one over here.
the one on the bridge underneath Drakgar is also unconscious. The one all the way here is still conscious but barely alive. What's it called? You can try to shoot, but because of the odd angle, I'll say he benefits from half.
I'll fly to an angle to shoot him.
What do you say?
I should be able to see him now, right? No, I'm flying. I'm purposely flying to go shoot him.
Yes, I know. What's it called? I was just saying, you can move here and get a clear shot of the. Oh shit! I keep forgetting. You guys can see my fucking arrow.
That's why I'm sorry, but somebody keeps moving me back up the stairs.
There we go. Like you can move here, and that will allow you to get an angle on them. What's it called? So you want to move that 30 feet down and shoot?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, you move over there and you take your shot. Go ahead.
Cupid's bow.
22 hits. Roll me damage.
Non-lethal. He's gonna take an arrow to the knee.
That's still career ending. But it is what it is. What's it called? So 7 points of piercing damage. You aim low, or at least try to get an angle on the shot so that the arrow lands low, and let go an arrow, and you just hear the arrow impacts something, and a howl of pain. Sorry, a howl of pain emanates from the lesser folk. Ah, my knee!
My leg.
My leg. Fucking family guy. So, anything else, Alexander?
I ask if anybody needs healing.
No?
Well, good.
Rutger's just gonna say that. Rutger's just gonna say, they nicked me a bit on the shoulder, but I should be fine.
I'll patch you up as soon as we're done here. Stay strong.
Anything else?
That's my turn.
Alright.
That's my turn.
Dengren. He's gonna move 5. He doesn't see any suitable targets at the moment. He's gonna hold his action. You see him reach into his belt and pulls out like a dagger that he kind of flips, so he's holding the blade. He's getting ready to throw. He's ready in action to toss the dagger at another lesser folk that if he sees one in sight. Because you still hear some movements from the other shack across the bridge. So you believe there's still at least one more of them somewhere there. Rutger is gonna look over at you, Drakgar, and say, should we move forward? Meet them there, or what?
We should probably go forward, make sure we get everybody.
We should also probably tie these guys up.
10.
They're knocked out right now, but yeah.
20, 25. Well, actually, he moves the first 15 feet over here. You hear him say, there's still one of them, right there. He kind of points forward. He is then gonna move from 15, 20, 25, 25, which is just his movement speed because he's a dwarf. is going to take 2 swings with his longsword at the lizard folk.
We're not killers! Rutgar, remember?
I'll try to stay in my hand. The first one misses. Second one hits for 8 points of slashing. Not. Oof. You hear another sort of like squeal of pain coming from one of the lizard folk there. Fainting damage. That's it for Rutger. This lizard folk is going to... Same one that got hit by Rutger. Going to move. 5, 10. He's going to move around Rutger. 10, 15. You see the lizard folk move into the space of its fallen ally. It's going to look back. Looks back at you, Drakgar. Looks back at Rutger. Looks back at Drakgar. And realizes one of you clearly looks way stronger than the other. You see as it's going to... he's going to risk the up attack from Rutger to move here for a reason that I'll reveal in a moment. As Rutger is going to take a swing. 22 hits for 8. Ooh, meaty hit on the lizard folk. And as he gets slashed across the back, you hear the lizard folk say in Draconic, "If I am to fall here, one of you will fall as well." As he draws a weapon and begins to hacks at the bridge to drop it where you stand, Drakgar.
No.
What's it called? Give me 1 moment while I read this real quick.
Hold up. Oh, it's not my turn, but god damn it. I got something. I think if it works, it could work. Let me double check.
So. Okay. In that case, he's going to pull out a stake from it and, well, try to hack at one of the stakes from it. And Drakgar, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no. If it lets me click it.
The Dex boy.
Oh, let's go!
That 20! Oh,
Net 20, baby!
busting right now. Oh,
He
That's
said, fuck your
critical.
rope cut and kill, bitch.
Okay. You
Backward.
see as the lesser folk kind of pulls out his weapon and kind of uses it as leverage to break one of these stakes in the bridge, which kind of causes one of the ropes to go loose, and the bridge kind of lists to the side completely vertically at this point. Drakgar, you're barely able to kind of react. Well, not even barely. You're pretty able to react in time to realize what he's trying to do. So you kind of reach with one of your arms at one of the remaining ropes of the bridge, and as the bridge sort of like collapses, you kind of use it to swing yourself to safety. You don't slide and fall onto the bridge, but you are still able. You basically land, in between the bridge. The same cannot be said for the unconscious lesser folk in the bridge, who then falls down and his body rolls off the side and just.
Deirdre just shouts, that doesn't count as our kill!
I don't know. That might count, to be honest.
That's on him and I'll
Well,
play
technically, the guy that cut the bridge killed him.
Yeah, so murder.
Oh, yeah,
Actually,
actually
it's a
would
murder
fall
on him.
like 15 feet, so like around there. So yes, his body begins to sizzle and bubble, and through the heat of the volcano. Let's see how much damage that would have been for Drakgar.
Insta death. Sorry.
Yeah, that could have been pretty bad. Let's see.
Oh my
my
god.
god!
That's my whole HP. That's all my hit points.
That's 53.
Oh,
That would have
that-
insta dead for sure.
That I would have survived that, but that would have been a lot. Holy
So,
crap.
Drakgar, you're able to line yourself onto safety, like basically like in between like the bridge, but maintaining your footing. but the other lizard folk, his unconscious body kind of falls into the lava and begins to burn. That was one of the lizard folk's attacks to destroy the stake of the bridge.
Now he's
Realizing that Drakgar survived, the lizard folk looks very panicked at this point. And kind of looks around. You see his eyes dart around, like trying to look for a means of escape or other form of, way he can get out of this situation.
And I'll just give him the anime death stare.
That was his one and only plan. Let's see. Could you make me an intimidation check, Drakgar, seeing as you survive his deadly plan?
Heck yeah.
You should be advantage on this because of what he did. That should be advantage.
If I could find it.
Bruh. Advantage. You should have advantage.
I'll give you advantage because not only did you roll a nat 20 on the dex, that should have looked like a graceful fucking landing. You stare back at him from below the bridge. The lizard folk break. I'm not sure if lizards can sweat, but if they can, but if they could, it would be around this time where the lizard folk breaks out into a sweat and looks over again. His eyes darting all over the place, trying to figure out what the fuck's happening. What does he do now? Before realizing that they are effectively out of options, and just says, "Wait! I yield! Lower your weapons! I will not send the alarm!"
Well, I guess.
Do you accept his terms of surrender?
I do.
Do the rest of you guys accept his terms of surrender? I'm not hearing the rest of the party.
Wait, who is surrendering?
The last remaining lizard folk, upon realizing that Drakgar survived the plan that it had about dropping him into lava, they just threw up their arms in surrender.
Oh, no, that's perfectly fair.
I still want to kill him.
Porunga,
We
you
haven't killed
hear...
anyone, sir.
Porunga, you hear in the back of your mind...
That's why I said.
You hear in the back of your mind, Porunga. I don't believe his surrender is genuine. Finish him off just to be certain.
I agree.
Good thing fucking Astor is not fucking Derek's head. Jesus Christ.
We'll be like, yeah, he deserves to die. Yep, he deserves to die.
Porunga, do you listen to the intrusive thoughts, aka...
Nah, I just blocked him out.
Okay.
Hit the mute button.
I left him on red.
You just press it to
And
bed.
with that brings us to the end of initiative, as the last lizard folk of this first contingent of guards has surrendered. And with his surrender comes the end of initiative, and with the end of initiative will come the end of the session for the time being. As we will figure out what you guys do from here next time in Odyssey of the Dragonlords.
Hey, good episode, guys.
Wait, does Dragon have to line up?
It's not in fucking Derek's head. Fuck.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make a difference. We'll both say, yeah, he deserves to die. Yeah, he deserves to die. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he deserves to die.
I mean, and would you act upon the dark urge, I guess, of the Estor calendar?
Fucking Pumo would in a heartbeat. He'd be like,
Come on.
He'd be like, I never knew you actually liked me as a friend, bro. Of course I'll do it for you.
Just for resties.
Besties
for resties.
We'll get rid of these blue guys, and then it will be back to normal. Remember, guys, he's a bad guy. That is a bad guy. He joined the Order of Siren. So,
All I know is that one wizard that had a really bad. He gets jumped, then he gets blinded, then he gets dropped off a bridge, then he rolls down a hill into a pit of lava. I mean, how much worse can you get?
Anakin.
I mean, hey.
Basically, an Anakin Skywalker.
There's always those couple of guys that have a really rough day. Yeah, what do you say?
Can we roll some kind of check to see if he had a family? Like, you need a picture of his wife on him.
I can do that in the background. Not like
You just-
family means a lot to Lizardfolk, as you've seen.
Yeah.
But like,
We ate the sun. Remember that. We just ate a sun.
Also, you just start hearing Naruto sad story.
most of
Right.
you, some of you ate the son of Queen Vita.
I
Which,
did.
You know,
It was good.
GG's. That's what you get for doing Lizardfolk stuff. Sometimes you
It
engage in
tastes like
cannibalism.
deer.
What's it called?
Not cannibalism for us. It's for humans.
I mean,
For Porunga,
human
maybe.
Lizardfolk are still considered humanoid species by D&D standards. But
So you tell me I could use Crown of Madness to control somebody?
maybe. What's it
Alright,
called?
now I know next time, guys. Now I know next time.
But
Wait,
yes.
they brought
Huh? What were you gonna say?
they brought back Deathfire Grasp and frickin' League of Legends. Gross.
Oh, I don't know. And
Yes,
also,
you
you
did.
just mentioned League of
Storm-
Legends in my
Storm.
DN. You just mentioned League of Legends in my D&D video. But
Oh my
anyway,
Ooh.
what's
It
it
was good,
called?
man.
With
Team
that
all
being
time.
said,
Three.
with that being said, just very quickly finish up the recording. For those of you watching this on YouTube, be sure to continue, watching along with the misadventures of the Dawnbringers in this volcanic island, and how they may deal with Jankor, the traitor to the Lizardfolk. Whether it be that they spare him and bring him to face Lizardfolk justice, whatever that may be, or that they kill him and end his tyranny of terror over the remaining tribes of the Fire Island. We'll see. Until then, that'll be it for this session. We'll see you guys next time.